What's up, everybody? Good Saturday morning or evening or wherever you're listening from, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I say that and I forget that we do have a lot of fans over
Yes, we do.
over in Europe. So
Yeah, we do.
they are mostly in the States according to Spotify. But
Yeah,
actually, I was going to actually bring that up.
that's okay.
A little bit today because
Are we going to do the Metalheads? We're going to do the Metalheads Unite 2025 Wrapped.
Metalheads are nice.
Is that what we're doing?
I don't want to talk about mine because the Venus kind of gets a hold of my Spotify, and then I got kids songs on there. I'm just like, what the hell? But I fixed it where that won't happen again. But going forward, but it still amazes me. I know a lot of people probably do that, do the Spotify rap thing, and I think sometimes it's like I could see that, and then like this year really surprised me. Like I was surprised Brainstorm was my most listened to artist this year, which is crazy.
Yeah, I had a couple of surprises on mine too, but the song that I listened to the most wasn't a surprise at all. So I was like, The Unforgiven. It's like, that makes total
sense. Gotcha. Yeah, makes total sense.
Yeah, it's like that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Which we'll talk a little bit more about the rap stuff.
Yeah,
in the news segment because there's a story about that which blew my mind when I read that too. I'm just like, wow, that's freaking unreal. But
cool.
We'll get to that later. But I do want to say that I haven't really talked to you about this, I guess, Chris. But I was going to. This may be the last show, depending on if we get a guest. Like if I get a guest next week, I'm cool with it. But I was going back and like looking at what I got to do still before we start next year over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a lot to try to get done in a week and a half. So I think I'm going to need a little extra time because I want to get 2025 wrapped and with all the interviews I got to cut up still and everything. I don't want to get it done and then move into 2026 clean. So
okay.
So we may not be having another show. We'll kind of keep you guys informed on our socials throughout the week. So we do still have a line in the water about an interview. So I already gave them the dates for that. So if that comes through, then we'll
I'm actually surprised they haven't gotten back to us yet.
I am too because he was pretty pretty apologetic for taking so long, and then saying hey verifying the times and all that good stuff, and kind of verified that with him, and then I thought, well, maybe he'll get back, or maybe the band's just not available on those days, which is fine. I mean, we can always. I'm cool with going into the first year because we know the first couple of releases aren't very long, so So I'm cool with trying to talk to some guests from 2025 albums. That's fine. But,
I mean,
I don't think we've done that before, so
we have. Yeah, we have.
Deal, but, it's just to whether they come out this year or next year. I mean, they're still got new music, so it's kind of like you still want to put them in front of people, regardless of regardless of when they released anything. So but
100%.
So we may or may not be here next week, but like I said, we'll let you know on our socials, and I'll we'll do I'm sure we'll be doing a big Thanksgiving, Jesus Christ, Christmas Christmas edition of Metalhead Minute and stuff. So
well, I mean, definitely going to keep doing those regardless.
Well, regardless,
absolutely.
So cool. So, and if you haven't yet, or if you never, well, I'm going to say, if you have not listened to our interview with Dreamlord, it is now on Spotify and Rumble.
That's right.
So you can check those out there. And it's still on YouTube and whatnot. So I think Facebook may be coming up on deleting it. I know it's 30 days with them, and let me go look at the date. I can't remember when they were here to see. Dreamlord was Actually, it will be deleted this weekend. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Like I said, there's still 3 other spots you can see it anytime you want to.
yeah.
So.
YouTube is actually getting to be the best place to kind of YouTube is the best place to kind of watch everything. I know once it's
Right.
downloaded to Spotify, it's there, but you know,
Well,
YouTube
the
is
good thing
still
about Spotify is you can watch it or listen. You can do either one.
right, right,
So,
yeah. So
so
YouTube is
it's
the best. YouTube is still the best place to watch it. But like if you guys listen to us while you're like driving and stuff, and you need to pay attention to the road, of course, everybody does. So yeah, Spotify is a good place to just kind of have us in your ear and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
So. Because yes, please everybody pay attention to the road while you're driving. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll be talking a little bit about that too. So,
Yeah.
so
Yes, we will.
but anyway, let me pull this up here. I was kind of wanting to. I mean, we may touch on this again whenever we start talking about the end of the year show. So, but let's see. I hate that they do these in different files too, which is crazy. Um, so we're listening. I wanted to pull this up because we were just talking about it. So the top countries that we are listened to in is the United States, of course, and
Hmm.
then Italy, Finland, Poland, and Germany, which is
Wow.
yeah. So it's pretty wild. Italy's a second. So it's kind of crazy that you know, we took so long to get there. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
like once we're there, it's kind of like So and we wind up. I think we were three bands from there now that we've talked to.
I think
So
so. Yeah.
three or four. So I mean, it's. I think Never Obey Again was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. But
Actually, they may have been.
yeah, and then was it Game Over? Was they from Italy too? I can't remember. I know
Man,
there was 3 bands.
man, I can't
I know there
remember
was.
where.
Oh hell,
I
I got
cannot.
this one in front of me. I know it was. I know some of them were from last year though. So
Cannot remember where
Italy.
everybody's been from.
Yeah. Game Over was from Italy, and then that's
Never Obey Again was from Italy for sure because they were
yeah,
the
yeah,
ones. They
yeah.
were the ones that told us about Chicken Alfredo.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Tore
And
down
then
my world.
I know, right? And they don't put meat on anything. It's only sauce. So if it's meat, it's not Italian. That kind of blew my mind too. I'm just like, really?
Well,
He's like, yeah. So somebody went out west and brought meat back with them and put it on spaghetti, and then now everybody eats meat with spaghetti. But yeah, it was supposed to be just pasta and sauce. But
which pasta and sauce is still good, but
well, yeah,
pasta with meat sauce is better.
it
It's
is.
better.
Well, that's coming from the United States, where we say meat makes everything better.
Well, that is true. That is
Uh,
true.
well, most of us, we do have vegetarians here, so I don't want
Yeah. No, I mean that's true. But the overriding opinion is meat
to. Well,
makes
yeah,
everything better. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. You almost can't. I think if you want to test your vulnerability, just be a vegetarian and live in Texas. There you
Oh Lord, yeah.
go. I don't think you can go anywhere down there and not smell a grill going or
Yeah.
a smoker going or
Or an electric chair going.
well, yeah, that too. Yeah. I don't know if you're into that kind of meat, but
I mean, that's still smoked meat technically, but
yeah, I mean, technically, yeah. Let's see what else I got here. I was wanting to talk about.
that's still crazy though. I mean, the United States is obviously, because that's we're here and everything. But then
Right.
our next four of the top five are all in England. Or not
Mhm.
England,
Europe.
Europe, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
But especially Poland. I mean, really?
I
Poland.
know that kind of blew my
Wow.
mind too. I was like, wow, I don't even know if we ever talked to a band from Poland.
We
before.
haven't talked to a Polish
This is
band yet, as far as I know. We need to get on that just for them, just for our Polish fans.
Sure do. Yeah. So, and
We
we
do
won't
need
make any Polak jokes while they're here either. So I promise. Uh, oh man. Let's see. So just to give you an idea, like we were up 28% in listens throughout the year, so that's good. I mean, as
That's
long as we're
awesome.
growing, we're growing. That's the main thing.
Yep.
And like the surprising thing to me was the most listened to episode we had was with Reptilian.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's kind of local. So I
Yeah.
mean, kind of makes sense. But that kind of surprised me. I was thinking it would be definitely somebody else. I was like, well, that's pretty wild. So let's see.
That's good though. I like surprises. So.
Let me see this because it doesn't show me the what I want to see here.
It's like, damn it,
Sorry,
show me what I want to see.
well, I mean, I could go through it again, but I was just like, I kind of like downloaded each slide that I needed to talk about, but it didn't like this one actually flips when you click it. So when you download it, it doesn't.
Oh, I got
Obviously,
you.
it doesn't.
I got you.
Obviously, it doesn't flip.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
it's kind of
Yeah, no, I got you.
let's see. Yep, we're at 23% in our audience listens. We have, we were up almost 1,000% in new listeners, which was,
Whoa.
that's not hard to do with us because
Well,
we don't have the Joe Rogan experience numbers. So I mean,
no,
that's
we do
kind of
not.
so. I mean, if we were at 2 and then we got, you know, what 10 or 8 or 14 or whatever, then there you are. So
Right. That's true. But still,
yeah.
I mean, 1,000% jump is still 1,000%
we
jump.
got 28% increase in followers, which is good because I mean the follows is what we really want because that means they're interested in the program every week. So
Right. Yeah.
and that was the one with Reptilian. It got 92% more plays than our average episode, which is still crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see if we're gonna work out. So they only gave me the top 5 when I did this, but we're actually listened to in 7 countries.
Oh, okay.
And it only gave me the top 5 though. I don't know what the other. I'd love to know what the other 2 were.
Yeah, no kidding. So we could at least thank them.
Yeah, so I mean it's kind of crazy they didn't do all of them, but your fans have great taste. And he tells the top artist to most of the fans, which is pretty cool. So the people that listen to the show are big listeners to Iron Maiden, Game Over, Corn, Orbit Culture, in Elevation Worship, which I never heard of them. So
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know
I
who
might
that
have to
is.
check into that one. So
Yeah.
let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do here. Let's see. Cool. This year, your show growth outpaced 63% of other shows on the platform. So our growth, like that's what blew. I was like, wait a minute, did I read that right? Like our growth was 63% of other shows on the platforms.
Wow.
That's crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
I think the little things like that we don't really think about because we're the ones doing all this. So
Yeah.
let's see. The average rating was higher than 75% of other shows. So so I mean, when you get the kudos like that, I guess it makes you feel like you're doing something right.
Hell yeah.
So
like I said, like we said before, we're just a couple of dudes with a podcast. I mean, it's just
right. Yeah. And I don't know how this is. I don't know if this is. It'd be interesting to know if it's tabulated for, I guess, less stuff than you usually do. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they would say, "Oh, well, you're down 25% from last year." I mean, that's my thing
well,
with
I mean,
all this. I mean,
well, I mean, I would hope so because I mean, I would too because I would want to know if the show's doing well
right.
or if it's not. So I mean,
right.
I mean that's all well and good. I mean, but just I mean, it's kind of the same situation we had with
right.
the last platform.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing good, fine, and if we're and we would like to know the details. So just provide us with the details. And if we're not doing well, that's fine. Just let us know if there's something we could do better. So you're telling us all this supposed information and all these numbers and they all sound great, but we would like to see them to know for sure. And, and just to kind of, visually digest them and everything and all that stuff. So it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is, you're telling us all this on a weekly basis and it all sounds great, but like, how do we know for sure? So I mean,
well, we didn't, and we never will. But we made sure going forward from that point that we did. So that's the thing,
right? Yeah. So I mean, if something,
me and you have access to all the data now. It's like we can look it up on YouTube, we can look it up on Twitch, we can look it up on TikTok. I mean, it's all there. Like one of us is over. We're over different ones of the platforms, but we can still, we can still pull it up if we wanted to. And, and that may be something to look to doing for the end of the year too, just to see how we're doing on all those. I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be good to know because, like I said, Spotify is not the only platform we're on, obviously. So,
No.
so
yeah, I mean, I could check the insights on TikTok and on
yeah,
Instagram.
it'd be pretty cool just to know.
Yeah. So and that was all we asked for. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
we weren't even really asking for much.
and it's the thing is being in a managerial role before, and you've kind of been there too.
Mm-hmm.
Is you can't improve if you don't know what you're doing wrong. I mean,
Right.
if you're doing something that and then some people may have suggestions on something to do on a show that we can't do. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you guys should play music. I'm like, okay, well we can technically we can. I mean, but will it get blocked out or something on some of the platforms? Probably, and then I'll have to do
it will.
And then we'll have to do all the paperwork. And then Zero's already told me, he said, if it happens, let me know. I'll make sure I'll straighten them out and make them reissue it. So or take the strike down or whatever.
Yeah.
So
because
it's a pay. Our radio station's paid for. It's a paid for thing, a platform, and it's we have the licenses to play what we want on there. So
yeah. So that's the thing. I mean,
unless the only thing that would get us with that is if we would start playing stuff that's in our inbox that's not released.
Oh yeah, no,
that'll get us in trouble. But
we
know we can't do that. So
and we have the funny thing is we have proven ourselves trustworthy with this music that we've gotten from these labels, and so we've kind of established ourselves to be reputable. So they're still sending us stuff because of that.
It's crazy.
We've talked about
a new one. So
yeah, we have, and we've talked about new music coming out. We've talked about it, but we haven't because and the funny thing is some of the emails that we get from these labels are like, all right, this song, and this song are okay to play.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And some of them will give us 2 or 3 songs that we can play like right now. Sometimes by the time we get the email, there's already been a single or 2 released. Right. Sometimes there hasn't. And sometimes we get these emails and they're like, do not play or discuss any of these tracks until this date. So, I mean, when we get these emails, I mean, we take them seriously because, I mean, these people have reached out to us, and have supplied us with this music. So,
the thing too is like you have to look at things where AI is a big thing now. So, people could make AI videos of whatever they're giving us. I mean, I don't know anything about doing that. To be honest with you, I haven't played with any AI video stuff.
No,
but just say if we wanted to, I mean, we could probably figure out how to do that and take a video and make a video from that band, and it's not even legit. That's what kind of pisses me off about the AI thing. So I'm not saying that it's totally horrible, but there's got to be some kind of regulations with it. You can't, and then people, obviously the people that are violating the rights and stuff need to be held accountable too.
Absolutely.
That's because that cuts out our competition. So. But I mean, like I said, we I'm hopefully everybody that's listened to our shows enjoyed our show. I know the weekly format gets kind of repetitive sometimes with the format, but it's kind of that's kind of why we try to do as many band interviews as possible, so we don't have to, because it's that way. It's something different every week.
Sure.
You know what I mean, so it's not. Oh, we're going to listen to 4 weeks of these guys just talk about the same shit all the time. Like, no.
Well,
no, I mean, no, actually, we don't talk about the same shit.
We don't talk about the same shit every time. I mean, when we don't have a guest, we keep the format the same and in the same order. But I mean, every week we're talking about new stuff. New news, new music. We do a brand new album review. We have not done as far as I know, let me say that. As far as I know, we haven't done a repeat theme of the week. I don't think we have. I do know that there's one that I want to do again, but I mean that's just because the first one that we did was like 3-4 years ago, and there's been so much music come out since then. I mean, there's no way that
Well,
we probably could actually do that with most of our early themes of the week, because
I
we
guess, I
stuck
guess,
we
I
started
guess,
5 years ago. So I mean,
I guess I'll just go ahead and ruin the surprise now. But that was my plan going into next year. That was going to be the first one that we did. So,
oh
uh,
no, that's
well,
cool.
mainly because hey, we completed, as of January what 2nd, I think we completed 5 years on this
Five
show.
years. Yep.
So it's I feel like hey, it's 5 years. What a better way to kick off that than with that topic. So
Hey, I'm
you know,
totally
yeah.
fine with that,
So
because, like I say,
yeah.
I mean,
So
there's been hundreds of album releases,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
hundreds and upon hundreds of album releases actually
Well, I
since.
think it said I listened to 182 albums to share some shit. I'm just like, God,
Yeah, I'd have to go back and
something like that. I
look at
think.
mine again and see how many albums it said that I listened to. Uh, but yeah, so I mean, 5 years in, and you know, just the countless albums that have come out since then. So yeah, I mean, going back to the beginning and kind of starting over with 2.0 versions of some of these themes,
Hmm.
because I don't know how some of you may have been around for the full 5 years, and if you have,
Hmm.
God, thank you. But
Right.
if you remember, our themes of the week used to be just the top 10. We used to
Hmm.
just keep
Right.
ourselves to 10. So some of those early themes of the
Yeah.
week were just top 10. So I mean, you got
And,
20 songs and that was it. So
well, and then sometimes it was your favorites and my favorites, and sometimes they canceled out because we had the
yep,
same songs. So that's why
yep.
we kind of went. When I think it was like I don't know when we started doing it this way, maybe a year or so ago, maybe
I think it may have
2 years.
been end of 23, beginning of 24, somewhere around there,
Okay, that's somewhere. Yeah.
where you decided to do like a technically a two topic theme of the week,
Right.
So, and it's really worked out well. I mean, the amount
Yeah.
of times we've had the same song has been very, very low. So,
But yeah,
and the playlists have just gotten bigger and bigger,
yeah.
So hell,
Well, that's because you got other people contributing too. So,
that does help. But I mean,
uh,
the hell, let's see, I've got them all pulled up. I got the library pulled up right here. Like last week's, uh, weapons and ammunition from last week. Because I even asked Kayla, I was like, you got the playlist, right? She's like, yeah. And I was like, did you put anything on it? She's like, I can't think of anything that wasn't already on there. So
oh wow,
last week's playlist was just you and I, and it's 55 songs.
oh wow.
Yeah, 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Mhm.
So
So I'll give you kind of a prelude to what's coming. Is I told you I was already working on the best of 2025 playlist already. So,
mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like stale right now because I'm not trying to. Because I mean, there's stuff still coming out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there may be songs on there. Like, oh man, it's great. Let's stick it on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, kind of leaving it. Kind of getting the bigger ones out of the way that I know that we're not going to. You know, so this is the thing. I got 54 songs right now. Those 54 songs I would not have left off regardless. That's kind of what I'm saying. They would
Yeah.
have been on here regardless.
Yeah.
So, and this is from, you know, some of the bigger name bands, some of the ones we reviewed, some of the bands that we've interviewed. So I mean, it's pretty much a compilation of all that. But
Mm-hmm.
every year I do this. I usually stick to 100 songs because that's kind of what I've been doing. So I'm already at 3 hours and 43 minutes already. So
It does.
Get ready for a road trip,
Yeah.
guys.
It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long.
Yeah. It's and man, just like I'll say this, going back and I like this. Going back and looking at this and compiling this, I'm just like, dude, it has been an unreal year
Mm-hmm.
with I mean, I and just thinking about what is already coming out in 26 is like, man, man, it's just going to be keeps getting bigger. It seems
It
like
does.
it's like,
Yeah.
which is great for us.
No,
And
it's a great.
the metal community in general.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Especially with especially with people like the Gene Simmons and the Kerry Kings of the world, and
yeah, I think everything's dead.
yes, it's like what's wrong with you?
That's because they don't listen to everything.
Right.
They,
I mean,
they don't. If they're listening to the radio or whatever, then they're not going to.
no, they're
Yeah,
mm-mm.
they're left way out. So,
Especially if they're listening to a certain rock station in Nashville. So.
But yeah, so I was just like I said, I was going back through all this, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Just just to think about a little bit of this, not full albums, but because this is albums and singles released this year, because some singles got released for albums that are coming out next year. So some people are going to be on 2 lists in a row, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you had Testament's new album came out, Upon a Burning Body just came out, Warbringer I forgot about, which I don't know how I did that.
Yeah.
Being as one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
But, and then you had singles with Megadeth that's already been coming out, and Creator and Lamb of God, and Highest Nine Kills, and I mean, you had all those bands that are already have singles out that will not necessarily have albums yet, but they got released in 2025, so I feel like you have to include that.
Yep.
And then you had Arch Enemy and all the bands. Bleed from Within, Malevolence, and one of the ones that I forgot about was Tetrarch. Because it was so early in the year, that I forgot about. They had a new album out, so then you had the Killswitch Engage, and
Sabaton had an album out. Avatar had an album out.
Yep, Avatar. Yep. So I mean, it was a big year. I mean, if you think about it, like, Onslaught released a couple of new singles, but
they did.
Coming on their I can't remember what their album was. It a re-release? Or
it was a 40-year anniversary.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. So, and then of course you had
well, hell, and then Trivium had an EP come out.
Yeah.
So
Machine Head, Soulfly. I mean, Death Angel had a single out. Burning Witches had a new album. I mean, Mudvayne had a new single. Whitechapel had an album. So it's like
hell, Megadeth's got a new single coming out next week.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Alien Weaponry had an album coming out,
and then just when we thought it was all. And just when we thought they were dead, As I Lay Dying.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. So they're not just not so quirky name, So, and then one of your favorites, Primal Fear,
Yep.
So, I mean, so it's been a busy year, man. Like I said, I don't think it really hits you until you start compiling this stuff, and you're like, damn, not all these people that all these big bands that had albums, and of course that's not saying because, like I said, that's just to name some of the bigger bands. I mean. A lot of the bands that we've interviewed around here, Jet Jaguar, Dream Lord, Rituals,
Hidden Intent,
Intent, Patchwork, and
Paralysis,
So all the all the bands that we talked to this year are on here too. So it's Shadow of the Talisman. So I mean it's a bit. And then I didn't realize Gravedigger. I forgot about Gravedigger.
Yep.
So it's been a very, very big year, very surprising year. Not going forward in 2026 is going to be even bigger, it looks like. So just out the gate from what you're because you got Creator and Megadeth in January, so they don't get much bigger than that.
And Anthrax is March, isn't Anthrax March?
I think it was March,
something like that. So I mean,
first quarter of the year is going to be pretty huge.
It will. So no matter what anybody tells you, unless
metal's not
unless you're consciously not trying. Metal is not dead.
Not by a long shot.
Metal is not dead.
Well, see that just because they don't have the PR, with a lot of the television and radio that other genres of music have. So,
well, yeah.
All right.
Well, we've talked about that before. That's a pet peeve of ours. But
for sure. So, definitely been a week of. I didn't want to really talk about this much, but it's definitely this week has definitely been a week of no thank yous. I guess you should say, thank you, but no thank yous in a lot of different ways. Of course, talking about Ricky Rappin, which we'll talk a little while about that. But I was thinking about that whenever he announced that. I'm just like, man, he done Notre Dame job, man. What the hell? So
for completely different reasons, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, and to the craziest thing to me about that being a fan is like I wasn't really upset that they did that because I was like, well, they have a right to be, do what they want to do. I mean. They're not the only college football team that said, you know what, we don't want to play in a bowl game.
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of like people act like this is the first time this shit's ever happened. Like, this happens all
No.
the time. The guy just and then to me though, the media is killing the playoffs right now because all they're talking about is how what Notre Dame is doing. Like you got 12 teams in the playoffs, y'all need to be talking about the matchups. I haven't seen hardly any shows talking about the matchups yet or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're too worried about a team that is not even in there. Like why? It just kills me, dude. It's like
yeah.
I'm getting Dallas Cowboyed in college football. So, oh man! So, speaking of which, congratulations to the Lions. They won.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we won the game last week, but I mean, we've got to almost win out to make the playoffs because we've kind of choked away a couple games in the division. So I mean,
so my thing is, and I may be, I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this a lot of times, but I'm like, if being a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm like, I don't want them to get in because I don't think they have a chance to win it. You know what I mean? Like if I thought this was the best team that Dallas had in the last 10 years, I'm like, hell yeah, they need to go in here. They need to show what they're made of. I don't think that we would make it far. I just don't. Like, the defense isn't that. Defense isn't good enough. I don't think. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can. Offense is great. They can put up points, but if you can't stop the other team from scoring more points,
right?
Then, what good is that?
Yeah. Well, that was the funny thing about last week's game. I mean, we won, but I mean,
it was a back and forth.
But I mean, hell, we scored 44 points, but gave up 30.
Right.
So I mean, we won by 14, but I mean, a 14-point win is great, but it still allowed you guys to score 30 points. So I mean, that's not exactly a glowing review of our defense either. So
well, you're right. Which I think a lot of times too, people don't realize is the rules have changed so much in football.
Yeah,
I think that changed. I think that's changed a lot with the scoring. Back in the day, you could plow somebody in the backfield and not get flagged for it. And
that's I mean, the amount of, and I know it's all it's all in the name of player safety, and I understand that their heart is in the right place. It really is, but I mean, it's still fucking football. It's kind of the same thing. In hockey. It's the same thing. All of this stuff is in the name of player safety, and I think player safety is a huge thing. Obviously, so right. I mean, these players can play as long as they want, but I mean, it's still. I mean, they're grown men. They've been playing these sports their whole lives. Most of these athletes, they've been playing it their whole lives, and they know what they signed up for. So I mean, it's so bad, especially when they're talking about quarterback sacks and everything. It's like, you can't, it's ridiculous the amount of things you can't do to a quarterback anymore. I mean, sure, don't hit him in the head. I mean, I totally understand that. But I mean, when a guy gets a run off the right side and they completely blindside a quarterback because he blew by the left tackle, and it's roughing the passer because I landed on him. I mean, right. Fuck off with that shit, man. Come on.
Well, the thing too is I don't like his I was always taught being playing football in high school, and then of course coaching Pop Warner when growing up when my kids were growing up. But the thing that always amazed me was when a quarterback takes out running, once he hits that 3-4 yards in front of him, or actually past the blue line on TV that you see,
the
line of scrimmage. Once he goes past that line of scrimmage, man, I think he's game, dude. Like you become a runner at that point.
I think so too. I think so too.
I don't agree with like you're putting yourself in that situation. Then tough shit, I'm sorry. That's just of course I am a defensive player, so I'm going to say that, but still, and the thing that kills me too is like you said, these guys have been playing this stuff almost their whole lives, so they've had the fundamentals drilled into them, all this time, and fundamental tackling is below the waist. So if you got a quarterback going to the ground and your defensive player is tackling at the waist, guess where he's going to hit him? In the fucking head, because he's trying to tackle him at the waist. And then the quarterback's coming in sliding. Like I don't like that either. Like,
Yeah.
dude, don't don't
Well,
don't
I don't.
flag the don't flag the guy for that shit, man. Because
Well, I don't know if you saw the. I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point. But, New York and Kansas City were playing, and Jackson Dart took off on a run. And no. I'm sorry. It was Patriots and Giants. I'm sorry, but Jackson Dart took off on a run, and he scrambled out to the right, and he was running up the sideline, and the I can't remember the name of the player, but the dude from New England fucking laid his ass out. I mean, it wasn't a late hit or anything, and Jackson Dart got right back up and ran off the sideline and ran back to the huddle, and there was the Giants players are all pissed off, and I don't even think there was a flag because, like I say, he wasn't out of bounds, but the Patriots player just fucking just straight up just leveled him, knocked him out of bounds. And after the in the post game, his press conference, Jackson Dart was like, "Yeah, we're not playing soccer out here."
well, it's true. It's like,
So,
well, it comes to the thing that like people are going to talk.
kudos to him for that. So
You kind of probably knew this was coming, but yes, anyway, I have to talk about what I know. So, but you got to think about it in the world, like professional wrestling. We all know it's kind of storyline and things kind of decided. But what goes on in that ring between the two athletes are not. It's not decided. I mean that's athleticism. The mat hurts. If you've never landed in one of those rings, I challenge you to go do it because then maybe you have a little bit more respect for what they do.
Yeah.
But it does not feel good.
Yeah.
I've come home with two big bruises on my back from the ropes because hitting those things aren't it's not a rubber band. I mean it's a steel cable in the middle of some garden hose coating. So I mean it's not it's not what everybody thinks it is. There's not a spring underneath the ring and all this shit. I mean, it's all the bullshit that's been told over the years. But yeah, those guys are the same way. Like you can't go out there and wrestle a guy because shit happens. You know what I mean? If somebody gets hurt, it wasn't intentional. More than likely, I mean, shit happens.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the same way with any sport. Is I don't think unless you're LeBron James and have a good acting career.
Jesus.
But I think it happens in any sport. I think I don't think any of the injuries are intentional. I mean, who in the hell is going to intentionally cut you with their hockey skate? I mean,
Well, no. I mean, and I'm not even trying to disagree with you at all. But I mean, there was a freak accident that actually happened a couple of years ago, and it was over in Europe, and there was a collision between a couple of players, and in the aftermath of the collision, there was a guy who actually had some time spent in the NHL. I can't remember the guy's name, and I feel bad about that. But he got cut in the throat, and he ultimately died from it. And people were sending death threats to this player who was involved in the collision, and it's one of those things where you ever like do something weird and somebody sees you do it and then they're like, you couldn't do that again if you tried. It's one of those of those things. It's one of those things where it was wrong place, wrong time. Well, right place because he was on the ice. Right place just in the wrong time and at the wrong time, and it's just a freak accident. But people were saying that the dude whose skate did the cutting, they're like, oh, well, he should be like convicted. It's like, and people, in the comment section, we're talking about that. And, I've played hockey for 30 plus years, and, I've had sticks and pucks and, fists and elbows in my face, and, and don't get me wrong, it all hurts. It absolutely all hurts, but I've never been cut by a skate, thankfully, never had a tooth knocked out. They're all in there, so, but I mean, hockey is like the fastest sport I've ever played. I mean, you're skating around at 20 plus miles an hour. And, of course, everyone is there. Everyone's out there skating at 20 miles an hour. The fucking ice is slippery. You got knives on your feet and, you're trying to watch out for the other guy, especially if you have the puck, because if you have the puck, everyone's trying to take it from you. So, I mean, It's just one of those things. And, it's a physical game and, it happens, It's unfortunate when it happens.
And I'm sure the guy that that was involved in that probably already feels bad enough.
Yeah.
because he just
Yeah. There's
accidentally killed another player. But
Yeah, and
you know,
it's happened. I can
yeah,
think of I can think of three times that it's
I
happened in
remember
the
the one game back in was it '90s, I guess, when the one guy had to he had to put his
Mhm. Yeah,
finger
yeah.
over it and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that was Clint Malarchuk of the
Yeah,
Buffalo
Clemens,
Sabres,
yeah.
and he was a goaltender, and there
Hmm.
were a couple of players who were going after the puck, and they actually ended up colliding with Clint Malarchuk in the crease, and one of the skates came up and literally sliced his jugular.
Yep,
And the only reason why he didn't die is because the athletic trainer came out and actually reached his hand into the hole and
yep.
held the artery together, because it almost completely severed it, but it didn't sever it all the way. And he reached in and he held on to the artery.
That's crazy.
And that's the only reason why Clint Malarchuk didn't die on the ice. But there's a couple of other times that it happened. It happened to Richard Zednick, and it happened to Olli Jokinen. Um, but less severe than Clint Malarchuk. But
Right.
still, they got cut in the neck with skates.
Seemed
Not
like they
no
seemed
one
like
no
they
one
would
died, but
seemed like they would try to come up with some kind of protection for
they
that.
they have it now.
Oh, do they?
They
Okay,
have
good.
it now. It's like this. It's almost like this little Kevlar.
Like a turtleneck.
Basically makes it look like you're wearing a turtleneck, and it's made out of
I, I was actually, I was actually,
it's
I
made
was
out of
actually going to
Kevlar.
I was going to ask you if that's what it was made of. So.
It's made out of Kevlar, and they are, I think they're required to wear them in junior hockey, and I think the NHL is about to. I think the NHL is about to adopt it to where you have to wear it unless you came into the league before a certain date. But there are already players that are wearing them, and
I wonder why that is. Why is this before a certain date?
it's kind of like a grandfather clause. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
like it's like
Kind of like
if
the
you
Dale Earnhardt deal where they told him he didn't have to wear that and he didn't and died. So,
Yeah, so it's kind of a thing. It's like, it's an option, and if you're a new player, you have to wear it, because like that they did the same thing with visors on the helmets.
hmm
There's like two or three or four guys in the league who don't wear them because they've been in the league so long, and it's just a personal preference. But these newer players that come in the leagues, like, yeah, everyone has to wear a visor. So I mean, once these guys retire, so because hell, I remember back when there were still guys in the NHL who didn't wear a helmet at all before they made helmets mandatory. But when they
hmm
did, there was a grandfather clause, and it was like, okay, if you were in the league prior to X, Y, and prior to this year, you don't have to wear one if you don't want. And then there were still like a half a dozen guys who weren't wearing helmets, and then after they retired, they were the last ones. So there are guys in the NHL right now who don't wear visors just because they don't want to. It's just one of those
hmm
things. So there's like less than a handful of those guys left, and then when they retire, they'll be the last ones.
hmm
So same thing. Eventually there will be guys in the NHL who aren't wearing those little throat kind of skate, protector things. But everyone coming into the league, I think starting next year, actually, it might be next year. Starting next year, everyone who comes into the league has to wear one of those things, to keep you from getting your neck cut. So eventually there will be the last players who don't wear you know,
hmm
a neck guard. So I mean,
No. All right. Well, I guess we better kick this thing off with about 45 minutes in and even talked about music yet. So
we're gonna see those numbers start to.
I start to dip. Yeah, like these motherfuckers ain't even talking about metal. Oh, yeah. But all right, we'll
if
get with it. We promise.
if people haven't realized yet that we don't always stay on task, I mean,
Yeah. It's a, it's a,
we
it's
always get back to it. We always get back to it, even when we leave the road for a minute. So
yeah. All right, well, let's kick this thing off then. Of course, as always, we want to kick off with a few birthdays here, and I went from the 7th to the 13th.
yep,
So December 7th, we had Dita Strauss, of course, guitarist for Alice Cooper, and she does solo stuff as
yes, she
well.
does.
Then we had Helmuth Leaner, or I guess Leaner. I don't know how you say it, but guitarist and vocalist for Belphegor. December 8th, we had Phil Collins. not Phil Collins, Phil Collin, guitarist for Def Leppard.
Yep.
Marty Friedman, guitarist, of course, better known for his guitarist of Megadeth. Of course, no longer with them, but that's probably where he's most known for. But he does do some solo stuff, which is amazing because I've seen it live, and I was it's like like I said, it's one of those guys that you just so mesmerized watching, you forget there's no lyrics to anything.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I forgot it. There's no lyrics, but and so anyway. Also, December 8th, we had Corey Taylor, vocalist for Slipknot and Stone Sour. Of course, mainly for Slipknot these days because I don't see Stone Sour do anything for a long, long time.
Yep.
Maybe a reunion tour at some point or something. Maybe,
maybe yeah.
December 9th, we had Dennis Dunaway, bassist and songwriter for Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper getting some love this week. Paul Landers, guitarist for Rammstein. Michael Foster, drummer for Firehouse. December 10th, we had Nikki Sixx, bassist for Motley Crue and 6 a.m. We had Wolf Hoffman, guitarist for Accept. And we had Daniel Hackinson, I guess. Hackinson. Is that how you say that, maybe?
Probably Hawkinson, but yeah.
Hawkinson, okay.
Probably.
Bassist for Hexed. And then we had Baror Messiah Marcolin, vocalist for Candlemass from 86 to 91, and then he came back from 2002 to 2004. Then December 11th, we had Zachy Vengeance, guitarist for Avenged Sevenfold. New song's horrible.
It's not good.
December 12th, we had Bruce Kulick, a guitarist for Kiss from 84 to 96. We had Dan Hawkins, guitarist for The Darkness. And, of course, December 13th, which is today, we had Ted Nugent, guitarist and vocalist for his own band. And, of course, Damn Yankees. Then we had Dana Strum, bassist for Slaughter. Amy Lee, vocalist for Evanescence. And Matt Dice, bassist for All That Remains, which we have talked to before. So,
yeah.
Good dude.
Oh, yeah.
But those were the birthdays I had. I don't know if I missed anybody, but I tried to.
Not as far as I know.
I tried to. It's really hard because I'm trying to go through the Facebook group and like the two outlets I go through because they have different ones a lot of times. Oh, yeah. So I'm trying to go through three different things, and I'm like, man, sometimes I feel like I forget stuff. I feel like I forgot somebody, but.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, you may have. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't really, done anything for today. I didn't look at anything this morning to see if anybody, had posted anything this morning or anything. So I mean, I very well could have. If so, we definitely share it on our social media regardless. Yeah. So it's always absolutely. They always get a shout out there. So
yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's just one of those things where the timing of the show and when timing of postings, sometimes it'll get missed.
I know we had a lot of birthdays for group members this week too. So, and then I want to give a special shout out to Ricky Rackman and his wife Leah. That they celebrated 4 years? I think
4 years.
Yep, 4 years of marriage today. So
congratulations to them.
Was it yesterday or the day before? It was sometime this week. But
I think it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, but congrats to them. It's
absolutely
it's pretty cool, man. She I kind of got to meet them too when I went to the show, and she's a sweetheart, man. She's you wouldn't think a big bad tattoo artist would be as sweet as she is. I just want to stab you,
right? Yeah. But yeah, no, good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ricky's been in the news a lot this week too. So he's got a lot going on, man. It's crazy to talk about that now since we grew up in
kidding
the 80s watching him do Headbangers Ball and stuff, and it's like, damn, we're still talking about Rick. That's why it kind of killed me. Is like, you know what? I'll get to that. I'll get to that whenever we start talking about the headlines. But yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
Right.
All right, let's kick it into some news of the week.
Let's do that. All right, going to start. Well, I'm going to be sticking with the PRP.com this week, and in the wake of Ozzy's birthday last week and everything that's been going on, we'll start off with that. A newly conducted interview with Sharon Osbourne has found her opening up on the final moment she shared with her late husband, beloved heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne. Just weeks after delivering his farewell live appearance via an all-star tribute concert at Villa Park in Birmingham on July 5th, 2025, the iconic Prince of Darkness succumbed to a heart attack on July 22nd at the age of 76. Stuff we already know, of course.
Mhm.
His tragic passing followed years of declining health from accrued injuries and his struggle with Parkinson's disease. Appearing on the newest episode of Piers Morgan Uncensored, Sharon, who also managed both Ozzy and the heavy metal pioneering outfit he fronted, Black Sabbath, emotionally discussed her life with Ozzy, whom she married back in 1982. Speaking to Pierce about the days leading up to Ozzy's passing, Sharon conveyed that he had remarked about having strange dreams roughly a week prior. Quote, he had told me that he was having dreams in the last week of his life. He was seeing people that he never knew. I said, well, what kind of people? He goes, all different people. And I just keep walking and walking, and I'm seeing all these different people every night. And I go back there and I'm looking at these people, and they're looking at me, and nobody's talking. And he knew he was ready, end quote. Sharon also recalls the details regarding their final night together during this new interview, telling Pierce, quote, Ozzy was up and down to the bathroom all night, and it was like 4:30, and he said, wake up. I said, I'm already bloody awake. You've woken me up. And he said, kiss me. And then he said, hug me tight. I can't help wondering if I should have. Could I have? If only I'd have told him I loved him more. If only I'd have held him tighter. And he went downstairs, worked out for 20 minutes, and passed away, end quote. Sharon said she was later woken up that morning by yelling, to which she came downstairs and found out that her husband had passed away. I ran downstairs, and there he was, and they were trying to resuscitate him. And I'm like, don't, just leave him. Leave him. You can't. He's gone. She added, I knew instantly he'd gone, and they tried, and they took him by helicopter to the hospital, and they tried, and it's like, he's gone. Just leave him. Prior to taking the stage at Back to the Beginning concert in Birmingham, Ozzy had taken on an exercise regimen to help him get back into shape for the set. Unfortunately, however, Ozzy's declining health presented considerable struggles, leading him to secretly being hospitalized just weeks ahead of the big show. As Sharon stated in this new interview, his primary doctor had warned the couple in advance that the concert could have very well killed him. Given that knowledge, Pierce asked Sharon if she thought Ozzy knew the end was near, and she replied, quote, very much so, because he'd been so ill this year, terribly, terribly ill. And when he came to England and we were meeting with new doctors here, a medical team for him, the main doctor said to him, if you do this show, that's it. You're not going to get through it. But we just sat there, and he said, I'm doing it, I want to do it, and I'm doing it, end quote. She continued, quote, he knew his body was failing him. He was in so much pain, so much pain. And I mean, he had pneumonia 3 times this year. He had sepsis. That's what really, really destroyed him. He was on these shots of antibiotics. It used to take 20 minutes for the shot to go in, and he had that twice a day, and it kills everything in you, the good, the bad, everything. So much antibiotics, and he just couldn't get over that. He just couldn't, end quote. Despite his increasingly frail state of health, Osbourne gutted out the performance, raising some $11 million for Cure Parkinson's, the Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorn Children's Hospice via the show, its live-streamed pay-per-view, and an associated charity auction. Ozzy's determination for one last live hurrah saw him perform seated upon a throne, running through abbreviated sets of both his own solo hits and classics with his Black Sabbath bandmates at Back to the Beginning. The swan song received a joyous ovation from not only his adoring fans, but also his family and numerous esteemed peers in attendance. According to Sharon, it was also a high point for him in his latter years. Quote, he just wanted it so bad to say thank you to everyone, and I think he honestly did know that he was done. That was his time, and I think he honestly did know that he was done. That was his time, end quote. Speaking of her husband's mood after successfully pulling off the show, she relayed he was so happy afterwards. He kept looking at the papers, and he goes to me, quote, I never knew so many people liked me. But that's the way he was. I mean, he knew he was famous, but not the amount that people loved him. It's a whole different thing. And he was just so happy, so happy. And for 2 weeks, he was, really like every day was sunshine for him. Really, really happy. Yeah. So happy, happier than we'd seen him in 7 years, end quote. Paramedics on the scene worked to resuscitate Ozzy for some reported 2 hours before the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer was officially declared dead on the family's estate in Buckinghamshire, UK. He was ultimately buried on the grounds of that estate in a private ceremony attended by his family and friends. The full interview with Sharon is scheduled to arrive online on December 10th via Pierce's official YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out in full, you can go there. So
Then let's not forget.
Regardless of how you feel about Pierce Morgan,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I know he's a polarizing figure, but
yeah, let's not forget that the Back to the Beginning is also going to be in theaters next year.
I'm gonna go see that.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm gonna go see that.
See that.
And I'm probably gonna cry. Just,
Probably,
I'm probably gonna cry.
Especially if my concussion symptoms are still around, I'll probably definitely be crying because I still got my emotions all over the damn place. So
yeah. So, well,
I've in not to take away from that, but I've had concussions, from sports before, and then like this one's like, dude, I don't think I've ever had anything this bad. It's ridiculous, dude. Like I could see where, all the talk with Chris Benoit, about him. I can see if he's had so many concussions like this, where I can see where he black out and not know anything that he's doing. Yeah. I could very well see that. Like, I heard all that stuff before. I'm just like, yeah, he's got to know something. But I've actually lost some fragments of time here and there. So it's really scary. So
yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, so I kind of worry about Sharon at this point too, because I mean, she didn't look very well at the funeral. So I mean, it's kind of like, I hope she doesn't, well, I hope that she is, because I mean, living a life without Ozzy, being with him that long, I mean, I don't know how she's going to be able to handle that. I mean, as far as that goes, because you were somebody that long, dude, and then they're just all of a sudden not there. I mean, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's what I worry about with my mom. Because I mean,
oh yeah,
her and my dad, they would have been married 47 years coming up this January. They would have been married 47 years.
Wow.
He died this summer, and she's just now starting to go through his things ever so slowly. So
right.
I mean, and I told her, I said, I said, there's no timeline for you to do any of this stuff.
Exactly. You do it when you feel like you're in a spot where you can do it. It's kind of like.
And I told her,
or don't do it at all. That's up to you.
Right. That's what I said. I said, if anybody gives you any shit about what are you doing with dad's stuff, I said, if anyone gives you any shit, I'm 700 miles away, but not so far away where I can't get up there and set somebody straight. So
right, exactly.
I'm not going to let anybody do any of that shit to her. So, but yeah, I mean, they were together. I mean, my mom and dad have known each other since high school, and now, now he's gone. So.
Yeah, and I will say this: your dad has some cool shit. So, from a collector standpoint.
Well, the funny thing is, you don't even know the half of it.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, that's what you were saying whenever you were up there and seen some of that stuff. Because I didn't even know he had this stuff.
I know, it's nuts.
It's pretty wild. That's what I feel like my desk's going to be like. My kids are going to like, damn, when do you get this shit?
Right.
I got shit sitting everywhere now. I'm just like, man, I got to put some more shelves up or something. Like, Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, I already downsized once, and I'm just like, I just don't know if, like, I'm looking around, I'm going, man, I don't really want to get rid of anything else.
I know, yeah.
It's
it's tough. It's tough.
And I really need to finish out the room in here, because that way I can, maybe move some stuff around to where, I don't know. I'm definitely, and that's another thing I wanted to take off for, because I'm definitely going to rearrange this room. I'm going to move my big screens around and stuff, because I'm trying to get a better position in here that's more camera friendly, I guess you could say, because like I'm having to look down at the screen and then look up at a camera, and it's kind of a little bit monotonous. But,
that is kind of the one thing I like about this setup that I got. I mean, the camera is like right on top of the screen right there.
Yeah.
So I can close it, I can open it, and I just close it.
Well, I got an external camera on mine, mainly because of, I don't want everybody looking at the damn door back here,
No, I totally
like, at least look at some cool background while you're doing.
I do. I actually do have plans for. I do have plans for my background, so I do have some plans for that. So,
yeah. So, All right, I guess I'll get in with my first story here before the show ends. Oh, man. Mine's over from Metal Hammer. Two Australian Metallica fans have been banned from a venue for life after climbing up a speaker tower during a gig last month. Bo William Locke Rollins, 20, and Rory Hugh Colbert, 23, were arrested after they scaled the tower during the Thrash Giants performance at Optus Stadium in Perth on November 1st. They clung to the scaffolding at heights ranging from 10 meters to 50 meters for around 20 minutes after jumping over safety fences designed to prevent fans from doing exactly what the pair did. So much for fences, right?
Right. Yeah.
Perth now reports that Perth magistrate Ruth Dinnan says, quote, something that seemed funny at the time resulted in both men being charged with trespassing. They both pled guilty at the first opportunity. The pair gave no explanation for their actions, and their mobile phones, which contained footage of their stunt, were seized by police. Defense lawyer Rachel Gamel describes the antics as just plain stupid behavior. The magistrate agreed, saying it was an incredibly stupid thing to do and a good way to ruin your night out. End quote.
Yep.
Rollins was fined $1,000 in order to pay $308.80 in court costs. Colbert was handed a similar penalty in the same court, and both men were banned from the stadium for life. So, man, that's just crazy to, I don't know why you would want to do that anyway, but, whatever. Charge the stage or something, but, climbing up I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Here's the messed up thing. I mean, it's kind of, you just shake your head and, you're like, what are you thinking? Here's the fucked up thing. Let's say the worst case scenario happened and one of those jackasses would have fallen and died. Their families would have been like, oh, we're going to sue Metallica because they didn't ensure that all the fans were safe. Jesus Christ, shut up.
Right. Well, I mean, that's probably why they're banned, because the venue didn't want to be responsible for them doing something else stupid that may cost them their life.
Right. So, yeah. So yeah. No, I mean, everyone's always, people are always like, well, why is there this and why is there that? It's so people are safe, and jackasses like these two don't die. It
reminded me of was it Red Hot Chili Peppers that climbed the thing at the MTV Awards that time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it reminded me of when I was reading it. I was like, oh
yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. All right, my next one. This is kind of a two-parter, because there was actually an initial story that I was going to read, but now there's kind of been here's my response to it kind of deal. So we're kind of going to get two in one here. So Matt Zane has responded to the recent joint statement issued by the families of late Static X frontman Wayne Static and his wife Tara Ray regarding a new documentary being headed up by Zane on the deceased couple. The Society One vocalist revealed his plans for that unauthorized documentary several weeks ago, aiming to tell the story of the last 7 years of the couple's life. He claimed that Static and Ray had personally asked him to oversee the project prior to their respective deaths. Wayne died in 2014 following a fatal overdose of prescription medication and alcohol. Ray took her own life in 2016. Zane also stated that he was in possession of music he had been working on with Wayne for a film that Ray was scheduled to star in until Wayne's label put an end to the project. Zane initially indicated he planned to complete those songs with the use of AI technology. Boo, don't agree. Right. Speaking earlier this week, the families of Wayne and Ray, in no uncertain terms, strongly opposed the plans for the documentary and music, claiming that they would be pursuing appropriate legal means should the project progress. Undeterred, on December 11th, saw Zane launch a crowdfunding campaign for the film while also explaining why he chose to continue with the project. That leads us to today, where Zane has now given his response to the joint statement issued by the two families. Quote, I understand the family's concerns, especially Wayne's sister Amy, who is a wonderful person, but my obligation isn't to the families, it's to Wayne and Tara. They asked me to do this, and I know they would want the focus to be on the two of them, end quote. Regarding the family's request that any rare or unseen footage of Wayne be turned over for potential usage in the upcoming official Evil Disco documentary, Zane replied, quote, I think the family is a bit confused about the creation of the official documentary Evil Disco. I was hired and edited about 85% of that, and in good faith allowed my footage to be used within the edit. I never signed over the footage legally for use, but was willing to do so if the agreed upon terms were met. I also allowed my personal footage of Wayne to be used in multiple videos, such as Stay Alive and All These Years, even though the band hasn't officially licensed it from me. He went on to add, I personally think both movies can exist. I watched a working cut of Evil Disco with Wayne's sister Amy, and it's really cool, but it's more about the band, past and present. My movie is about Wayne and Tara. When it comes to the unreleased music he worked on with Wayne, Zayn included a brief tease of the track I Watch in the below crowdfunding campaign video. He went on to reveal that he may alter those songs in a bid to get them into the film. As far as the unreleased music, unfortunately, I'm unable to use any of that without the family's consent. What I may do is create tracks based off the music Wayne and I worked on and bring in other singers, similar to what Jonathan Davis did for Queen of the Damned. But I can tell you this, there are 6 tracks Wayne wrote and recorded that I did not have any part in that are truly his final solo works. Yes, his vocals are on them, and they were done in 2013, end quote. As of press time, the project appears to be off to a rocky start, raising some $200 from 2 backers since launching yesterday. Let's hang on a second. This is a couple days old. Let's see
where they're at now.
Let's see. Nope. Still just $200.
Wow.
Of course, he's only got a $2,000 goal. So, I mean, it's 10% of the way funded, for whatever that may or may not mean. But that's actually over on Indiegogo. I don't even know if there's anything.
GoFundMe or something.
I don't even know if there's anything on GoFundMe. No, it's just on Indiegogo. So yeah, off to a slow start. So
yeah, well. I don't know. To me, like if you wanted to, like, complete any of that, I guess they still talk. Does he still talk to the other band members that are still alive? Or
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about that in there. That would actually be good to know.
Because you're not going to get
that would be good to know.
You're not going to get stories about the 2 of them without talking to people that actually knew them. It's like, right. I guess he knew them too, but I'm just saying, like, they're not. He's not with them as much as the band members were. So
yeah. Well, it's like he said in the story too. I mean, the other movie focuses on the actual band, and this right. New thing is just focusing on Tara and Wayne. So I can kind of understand why he feels the way he does and why he may not feel like he needs to reach out to Tony and them. But at the same time, you would figure he would, but I don't know. It's actually a very, very good question. I don't know why. He wouldn't do that.
Well, that's why we're here, man. We ask the hard questions.
Yeah. I mean, somebody has to.
Oh,
yeah. Someone has to.
All right, my next one is over from Metal Sucks. On the afternoon of December 8th, founding Suicide Silence guitarist Chris Garza took to social media to announce that he was taking a step back from the band for a while. Though he was quick to point out that he was not quitting the band in any capacity, only that he needed to, quote, hit the reset button so I can make the right decisions in the near future, end quote. His full statement, which was released in collaboration with Suicide Silence's official Instagram page, is as follows. Quote, "What's up, everyone? As some of you have noticed, I've missed the last couple of Suicide Silence shows. It's because I'm on hiatus from the band. Sui has been on my brain ever since 2002 with no break. Everything is fine. I just need to press the reset button so I can make the right decisions in the near future. As the Terminator said, I'll be back."
There you go.
Garza, end quote. Along with his responsibilities with the band, Garza's made quite a name for himself in the podcast space, hosting the incredibly popular Garza podcast, which features a huge variety of guests from around the metal world. At this time, there's no information as to when Garza thinks he'll rejoin Suicide Silence on stage. Only time will tell when he'll feel the time is right. So, I think every musician kind of goes through this at some point. Some before others, surely, but I think most people get to that point where they're like, okay, I gotta take a break, man. It's just too much, So, good on him. If it's to get his mental capacity back in the right frame or whatever, then I'm all for it, So
yeah, what I like is we're seeing more and more of this, and it's awesome to see because people are finally starting to be okay with the fact that like, hey, I don't need to just bottle all this shit up. And
Right.
this stigma is kind of going away. It's like, hey, man, I'm overwhelmed. I just need a minute. And so good on him for realizing is like, hey, I need to take some time for
Mhm.
myself before something serious happens. Whether it be physically or mentally or something within the band, whatever it is they're trying to prevent. But also good on the band for like, hey, man, yeah, take some time. You know, so that way, I mean, he's watching out for himself, and then we're not losing a band. So I mean, of course, I mean that's a little bit of a selfish perspective, maybe, but he also feels like, hey, I just want some time. That way, I can come back to the band. I can be refreshed, and we can move on, and everything will be good. So I like to see this happening more and more. Because I mean, it used to be one of those things like, oh, well, you bottle up your emotions like a man, and you die when your heart explodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be that way. So
Right.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's good that people are starting to take their own well being seriously. It's like
mhm. Yeah, being the tough guy isn't always the right right way to approach things. So
yeah. Well, I mean, there's being a tough guy, and there's being tough, and then there's being smart, and you can do both.
exactly,
So I
exactly.
mean, you can absolutely do both. So it's good to see. It's like, hey, I just let me take a time out. Let me kind of
Mhm.
like he said in the article. Let me reset and regroup, and
Mhm.
we'll touch base. So we'll circle back.
That's
So
right.
you
Oh
know,
my
but
God.
but yeah, so
We'll see what happens. So,
yeah. So I
I'm,
mean,
like I said, I'm sure he'll be back. So
yeah, I mean, after being in the band for what 23 years, I mean,
oh
yes, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, let the man take a vacation, sure. All right, my next one. My last three are relatively short, so we'll get through them relatively quickly here. A fixture in the Anaheim, California live scene for decades and a haven for metal shows over the years, Chain Reaction have announced that they will be closing their doors this month. A statement issued to venue's social media on December 9th reads as follows, quote, Chain Reaction will be closing this month. Our final shows will be on December 18th and 19th with Movements. For almost 30 years, Chain Reaction has proudly fostered the alt music scene by creating a space for a community that the outside world just didn't get. From your local bands gaining their footing at their first shows to the humble beginnings of huge acts you now love, we're grateful to have held a place in this scene for as long as we did. This call wasn't made quickly. We wrestled with it and have ultimately made the decision to close our doors. We want to thank every band, fan, and attendee of our shows. We want to thank the scene that supported us for almost 3 decades. We want to thank you for the friendships and memories made in our special club. Thank you for supporting us through the years and when we needed it most. Chain Reaction forever, end quote. Californian post-hardcore band Movements are set to close out the venue with a pair of back-to-back sets on December 18th and 19th with Military Gun and More openings. So yeah, it's I've obviously never been to that venue, but it sucks that another metal venue is closing its doors for whatever
Mhm.
reason. Doesn't really say the reason, but I mean, hell, sometimes it's just people retire. Sometimes it's just that. More often than not, it's economic. You know, so who knows? We didn't really get the reasoning, but so anybody out there in Anaheim, you got a week left. So
Yeah. So, hate to see it, but it happens
yeah,
unfortunately. Especially we've had one here in
yeah.
Knoxville do the same thing. So it's
Hmm.
one of our bands love to go to. Halo's Cars. Played there many times, and
Yep.
and now it's no more. So
Yep.
speaking of no more, we're just a couple of weeks away from the end of MTV too. So it's kind of crazy to think that. So,
Well, we're a couple weeks away from the official end of MTV.
right, well, yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's been over for a long time. Yeah, you're
Yeah, it's
right. You're right. Uh,
yeah.
but anyway, all right. My next one here is over from Metal Sucks. On December 7th, a scary situation unfolded in which Converge and Mutoid Man drummer Ben Collar was involved in a hit and run accident that left his vehicle upside down in the middle of the road. Evidence of the appearance accident cropped up in a post on Collar's Instagram feed, which included a photo of the vehicle he was driving, planted firmly on its roof. Collar
Mm-hmm.
explained that what happened in the image's caption, stating that someone T-boned his vehicle and then promptly fled the scene. Quote, nice little Sunday. They T-boned me and fled the scene. Luckily, their bumper flew off and had their license plate on it. Dumbasses. Uh, I'm somehow walking and talking and pretty lucky to be alive. Don't waste a second. This thing could be over in any second and completely out of your control. I think God wants me to finish my work at Heavy Music Collective. Okay, bye. See you at Saddest Day Fest. End quote. Given how hard the other guy had to have hit Collar's vehicle in order to flip it, I'd imagine it's going to be an easy law enforcement to locate the car. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the offending vehicle's front bumper and license plate came off in the accident. Uh, in the Instagram's post comment section, fans and artists in bands like Touche Amore, Pile, God's Hate, Russian Circles, The Red Chord, Suicidal Tendencies, and more sent their best wishes to Collar. Despite the accident, Collar said he fully intends to play Convergence Saddest Day 2025 Festival next Saturday, which is this today, right?
Yeah, it
I
should
think
be.
today, yeah.
Yeah.
In a follow-up comment, Collar tagged Toyota's official Instagram story, thanking the car manufacturer for saving my life. The major corporation responded in kind, quote, we're sorry this happened to you, but we're also relieved that you're okay. Thank you for sharing and being part of our Toyota family, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
After the year we've all had as a heavy metal collective, I gotta say it's great that 2025 didn't give us yet another tragic loss in the accident.
Yeah, no kidding.
So thank goodness no one was hurt or killed. So there you go.
Yeah. Enough deaths are enough. Yeah. So, and hell, we've still got. I mean, we still got like 2.5 weeks left in the year. I don't get me wrong. I'm not hoping for it, but I'm definitely not betting that there won't be others. So,
Right.
unfortunately, it's just. I mean, not trying to be macabre, but it's just the law of averages, man. It is what it is. I'm definitely not
Mhm.
hoping. I'm definitely not hoping for it because, like I say, this is probably going to be our longest longest depending on it could be, but are definitely the highest number so far, which is not a record that we want. It's not a record we want.
No.
Far from it. All right, my next one. Full of Hell have announced the departure of their guitarist, etc. Spencer Hazard. A statement issued by the grindcore experimentalists issued on December 10th, stating, quote, hey everyone, today we announced that Spencer Hazard is no longer a member of Full of Hell. While this was a difficult decision to make, we are very thankful for the 16 years of dedication and a truly prolific amount of records together. Be sure to support at Reaper's Gong as well as at Industrial Hazard and his other solo and production projects. We appreciate the support and respect for our and his privacy regarding all of this. We are all excited and optimistic for the future, so thank you for the support after all this time, end quote. Hazard had been in the band since their inception back in 2009. So, I mean, pretty quick and to the point. I'm gonna kind of keep my eye out for a statement from Spencer at some point. We'll see how that goes, and depending on if we have a show or if we have a guest or whatever, that might
Mhm.
just be something I do a follow up on the in the group. So we'll see how that goes. But
Okay.
that because like I say, that was just a statement from the band. So
Mm.
we'll see what Spencer has to say. So
Gotcha.
especially if everyone is asking for privacy,
Hmm.
it could go either way. So
Exactly. All right, my last one is over from Metal Ingestion. So this one's kind of one of the things that kind of I guess puts a everything into perspective for Megadeth. I know we were kind of like saying, wondering why this was going to be it, and blah 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 blah. Well, now we're going to know.
mhm.
So during a December 5th chat on SiriusXM's Trump Nation with Eddie Trump, Megadeth frontman Dave Mustaine opened up about the group's newly revealed farewell tour. Officially set to begin in 2026, the run is titled the "This Was Our Life" tour, and will back Megadeth's upcoming self-titled final album, Megadeth. Uh, I didn't know it was it. I didn't know it was self-titled. Really? Hmm.
I mean,
That's
kind of a
interesting.
good way to go out.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever like did that as at the end. That's kind of interesting.
I
The
kind of like that.
announcement the announcement signals the closing chapter of a career that has spanned more than 4 decades. When asked why the band's last record will be Megadeth and why he's choosing a farewell approach now, Mustaine pointed to longstanding physical issues. Quote, it has been a long time coming, just physical stuff that was going on with my hands. My hands were letting me down, and there were other things that were difficult because of all the stuff going on in my neck and my trunk. The entire area there has arthritis and it has discs that are bulging. I've got my broken lumbar bone. Of course, I have my back fused up by my shoulders, by my neck, and just a lot of stuff, Mustaine explained. Um, Mustaine explained that he's also measured his future by whether he could still perform at maximum level. The decision wasn't triggered by a single dramatic moment, but by a gradual realization while the album was being made. Quote, I always said when it got to the point where I was unable to give 100% every night, that's when I was going to start considering winding down. And it wasn't that I was unable to give 100% because we finished the record and I think we did a good job on it. But there was a period when we were working and I said to my manager, I said, I don't know how much longer I can do this. My hands are really hurting. And I didn't mean to set the ball rolling. Honestly, I was just making conversation, and it turned into me talking to the band guys and sleeping on it, and talking to my family and praying on it. And the answer was clear to me that by the time we were done with the record, I'm going to know how the record's going to do. If the record does really well, then I'll be able to have one last really good tour. And the part about the farewell thing is kind of like the same thing, isn't it? We've got some dates that we want to play to say goodbye to our friends. End quote. Mustaine also emphasized that a proper send off requires time and global reach, not just a short domestic lap. Quote, the thing is, we're an American band, but we play everywhere, so it's not like we just are weekend warriors as country acts here in the States. Oh wow, he
Oh.
mudslinging. We've got a lot of touring to do in order to do our farewell properly. End quote. After Eddie Trunk noted that many veterans acts stay on stage past their prime, Mustaine agreed that continuing without being able to deliver at full strength doesn't make sense for Megadeth, especially given the band's stable situation. Quote, I don't think there's any reason for us to keep playing when we are not able to deliver 100%, Mustaine said. I mean, unless you're financially in a bad way and you need to keep playing, which by the grace of God, I've been successful. I've been able to pay all my bills, all the band guys, and they all get their paychecks on time. We do everything right by the book. So some people, as I said, uh, may have to keep playing because there's nothing else for them to do. Now, when I think about what I'm going to do after I hang the guitar up, that's in relation to touring. I believe that I'm going to keep doing music in some way, shape, or form, but not in the fashion that I was doing with Megadeth. Because if I can't do it and I need to stop playing with my first love, I'm not going to go out and try to do it again with someone else, he added, end quote. In short, the upcoming cycle looks like a deliberate, carefully planned goodbye, one shaped by health realities and pride in performance standards and a desire to think the worldwide fan base properly before closing the book on Megadeth's touring legacy. So there you have it. I know we were kind of like debating if that was kind of the thing. We didn't know like the hand thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was more vocal because we know he had the throat cancer and all that stuff at one point. So,
and he's always made plenty of remarks about his own singing ability.
Well, true. I mean, he's never shied away from saying that he's not the greatest singer.
Yeah, no, he's made no bones about that.
Yeah, so it's which is crazy because to think about some of the bands that we talk about, some of our favorites. Metallica was the same way. James Hetfield was never supposed to be the lead singer of Metallica, so it was we know the story that John Bush was originally reached out to, about being the singer for Metallica, which would have been a whole different band, honestly.
Definitely, yeah.
If John Bush was singing for him, so I don't think they would be as. That's the thing is like I love John Bush. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, he's a great. Even still, he still has it.
But him being in another band like that, I'm just like, I don't think that would work because they're just a different playing style.
Yeah, never know.
And you couldn't imagine him singing "Unforgiven" or anything. I just couldn't do it. So,
no. And you know how I feel about covers of the Unforgiven. So.
Well, true,
yeah. All right, my last one. Like I say, this is gonna be another quick one. Crowd the Empire have announced the exit of their bassist slash vocalist Hayden Tree. Tree had been with the band since their 2010 inception, originally handling rhythm guitar duties. In the below video, the band confirmed that Tree's departure comes as a result of wanting to spend time with his family and newborn child. The footage included in that clip announcing his exit came from the group's November 16th, 2025 set at the Vans Warped Tour in Tinkerfield in Orlando, Florida. Captioning that clip, the group offered today, December 9th, quote, after 15 years of touring the world together, Hayden Tree has decided to step away from the band. It's been an amazing ride together. Love you so much, brother, end quote. And unless you're a cold-hearted bastard, how are you going to be upset at a guy wanting to go home and be with his family, especially if he just had a baby?
Right, exactly.
You'd have to be, like I say, you'd have to be just an asshole. So I mean, because at this point, the kid gets to be 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Nothing that says you guys can't get together and play a few shows.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Let the guy go home and be a father. So congratulations to him for that. So
absolutely. That was your last one you said?
Yep.
Okay. Good deal. So, and some other headlines here, and then I got a video we're going to play at the end of this. So
video?
Yeah, a video.
Yay.
I figure it'd be better to hear it from the horse's mouth than me tell you about it. So
works for me.
Yeah. So other headlines, Evanescence made a surprise appearance at the Game Awards this week. So pretty interesting for I don't know if their music has been involved in any video games or nothing. But that's kind of cool that
not to my knowledge,
they
but
just
man,
popped up out of nowhere. It's like, wow.
But that's the thing is like the kind of music that they play, I could kind of see like if they would have like contributed a single to like an RP, like some sort of RPG or like one of those open world like
Halo or something.
Yeah, like Halo or Silent Hill or Resident Evil or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never really played those kind of games. Like the last open world game I played, and I'm dating myself a little bit, I know, is like Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, my
so like I say, I'm dating myself a little bit.
Oh,
but, man. So I mean, just it is what it is, But so who knows? I mean, maybe they contributed a song to one of those video games like that, but to my knowledge, no, they haven't. So I don't know.
If it makes you feel any better, our kids will be our age by the time Part 6 comes out. So
at the rate Rockstar Games is going, yeah.
Pelagic Records have announced that they are bringing together some of metal's most beautiful and boundless bands for the 2026 edition of Pelagic Fest. Haven't ever heard of that one before, so it's going to be something I'll look into coming into 26 to see that lineup. So, Machine Head leader Rob Flynn hopes his band's eventual retirement will be a grand finale like Stranger Things' last season,
which I haven't started watching yet. So
I hadn't either. So thanks for I guess we got something to compare it to since we both like Machine Head too, and then we'll watch.
If
we want them to end that way.
Yeah, I saw that story, and I just hope, like I said before, I just hope Rob doesn't make any decisions before we get to see the Blackening 20th anniversary tour.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I need to see that. I need to see Machine Head do an evening with. I need to see them do an evening with, and play the Blackening in its entirety, and then play the hits afterwards. That's I need that.
Well, I think he said in parts of the story that they're not really thinking about it right now. He just hopes that it's that way when they do decide to retire. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Hopefully they make another album better than that last one before they decide to do anything. But it was not.
I mean,
my favorites for sure. So.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite.
It wasn't. It wasn't a. I don't know. I guess like it seemed a more. I don't know. It was different. I guess, which is nothing wrong with being different. But I think it was different in an aspect of it. I don't know. Is this like some kind of tone? I guess that maybe why he called it Atonement. I don't know. Or is that what it was? No, it was yeah. Or it was Unbound, wasn't it?
Hold on.
I don't remember. Shit.
I've got it right here. Hang on. Or at least I did. Unatoned.
Unatoned. Yeah, there you
Unatoned.
go. There you go. I knew it was something tone.
Yeah, unatoned.
Unatoned. Yeah. So maybe that's why it was called that. Maybe because the tone is different.
Maybe it
But
did seem it seemed a little rushed.
it did. Yeah, and I feel like it was. I don't know. I just felt like a lot of the guitar work and stuff weren't as heavy as before. Maybe if that
Mhm.
makes any sense. I don't know,
It does.
but I mean, like I said, there was good songs on the album. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
was there songs I didn't care for? Absolutely. It's like
Uh-huh.
it was. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not an Avenged Sevenfold type thing where the whole album
No,
is
no, no, no.
trash,
Far from it. No, far from it.
but, but anyway. All right, Swallow the Sun's best-selling official biography is to be translated into English. So I don't know if anybody or Swallow the Sun fans out there, but you can actually get that in English now. Tool featured in the Warlock Dungeons and Dragons game trailer. So this is the thing is like we talk about metal all the time, but look at all the stuff it's featured in, dude. Like it's
Hmm.
just unreal how much stuff it's actually. WWE features it.
Yeah.
Video games.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is all about '80s metal. So I mean,
Yep.
well, '80s music in general, but most
Yeah.
of it's metal. So it's kind of cool that you have all these places that are pushing
Yeah.
metal into.
I mean, hell, if you've watched Peacemaker at all, there's a lot
Oh
of great
yeah, oh yeah,
there's a lot of great classic metal in
yeah.
Peacemaker.
There's hair metal bands galore in that shit.
Hmm. I mean,
So
hell, are you caught up on Peacemaker?
yeah, I
Okay,
watched all those.
like you remember when they go. This is a spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it, but this is metal related, so I'm going to talk about it. But that one, the couple of those episodes where they're in that other dimension,
Oh
and
yeah,
Chris's brother and what's her name are they're in the truck and they're talking about Halloween.
yeah, exactly. Because they
And
don't know who Halloween
they
is.
don't even know
What?
who Halloween is.
How do you not know who
How
Halloween
do you
is?
know who Halloween is?
Yeah,
I fucking love that
yeah.
shit.
I don't know if you noticed it too. A lot of the posters, the names were changed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, all sorts of good,
Mhm.
hair metal references. Halloween's power metal, but still, a lot of shout outs to heavy metal in Peacemaker. So
And I think there was a thing in there talking about Hanoi Rocks too, and they was talking about how they were all, the one guy didn't even die; he was still alive or something. I'm like, what? That was kind of crazy.
mm.
All right. Anyway, Clutch will begin recording a new album early next year. Members of Shadows Fall Exodus in Category 7 to pay a tribute to Neil Peart and Rush in January. That'd be interesting. Johann Lagervist is down for Candlemass to do more shows with Messiah McCollin. So that's actually cool that they're, in
he,
conversations and stuff about that. So
and he had a birthday this week too.
which one?
Messiah Merkelin. He had a birthday this week too.
Yeah. Did I?
I can't.
I thought I mentioned it. Let me see.
Okay, if you didn't, then you may
Yeah,
have.
yeah, I did. It was
Okay, okay,
yeah, he was in there.
okay.
I
All
was
right.
like, maybe a second guess myself. I'm like,
Okay,
I'm
never
pretty
mind.
sure.
Never mind.
Yeah. Let's see here.
It didn't dawn on me. I was like, oh shit, did he say that one? I just-
uh, Mantis says Kronos has been invited to the 45th anniversary celebration of Venom's debut album in 2026. Not, I'm
Wouldn't
not
put
going
money on
to.
it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't put it on my bingo card. That's for sure.
No.
So this one right here is the one that amazed me. We were talking about the rap stuff earlier. People streamed over 21,000 years worth of Metallica in 2025 on Spotify.
Hmm.
So in other words, if everybody that streamed Metallica, like if we spread it out over the time frame that they, consumed, it would be 21,000. Can you imagine that? That's just unreal.
And
Of
that's in
how many
that,
people listen to Metallica?
that's nuts because, like you said, that's in 1 year's worth of actual real world
Right?
time.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
Yeah. That's crazy. Gene Simmons says during the White House briefing that the American Music Fairness Act is a bipartisan bill that will get passed because the president is very pro artist. So this is one of the things that we were kind of talking about with the UK, where they were doing the
Cracking down on the
where
third
they were
party.
cracking down on like all that stuff. So this one's actually I think cracking down on like the AI stuff. I think, but
That needs to happen too.
Well, it does, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe a lot of the craziest thing to me is you got to create legislation to battle this shit. Really, it's like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it just seems stupid to me that you have to go through that far and get
Yeah.
the government involved just to
Especially when the government in this country has much bigger things to worry about.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So yeah, it sucks that they have to they feel like they have to commit time to that, but
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like and I don't know if I'm stealing like some headline thunder here, but talking about the AI thing, the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard thing over at Spotify.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So I mean, there was an AI band because King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I'm going to keep saying it because it's fun.
It's funny, yeah.
But they pulled all their music off of Spotify for their own reasons, and I believe we talked about it too. But there's an AI band called King Gizzard Wizard or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's an AI band, and they were trying to kind of piggyback off of the name recognition and the fact that the actual band pulled their music. So they tried to slide in and fill the hole, and Spotify was like they caught on and they were like nope. So as much shit as we give Spotify, good on them for catching that. They need to do more.
Well,
they
yeah,
need to do more of it too. So.
I know there's a couple of platforms that say if they find anything EI, they'll ban you from it. So
I mean, Encyclopedia Metallum said that they're not gonna list AI bands. So good on them for that. So yeah, I mean, all of these platforms need to be cognizant of it, and if they find it, they need to get rid of it. So good on Spotify at least for that. We'll give credit where credit's due when it's due.
Right.
So.
Right. All right. Ash Avilson calls out labels and streaming services pushing AI slop. There must be a velvet revolution, which we kind of were just talking about that.
Just talking about it.
So Max Cavalera says, "I love the fact that I introduced Brazilian culture to Americans and Europeans through my music, and we appreciate it too."
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Max.
Adema is mixing a long-awaited 5th album for early 2026 release.
There you go.
Interesting. I didn't even know they were still doing anything. Bullet for My Valentine's to begin recording 8th album in February, which kind of pisses me off in a way that they're just now doing that since they killed a tour.
They scrapped it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why did you scrap the fucking tour if you're not doing it until February?
Right. You couldn't finish the fucking tour.
I don't know. I mean, they finished the U.S. part of it, so I'm not too upset, but I'm sure the Europeans are mad as fuck. But,
sure.
So.
Well, I'm sure. Well, Trivium was diplomatic about it, but I'm sure they weren't thrilled.
Yeah,
either, so.
I'm sure Matt was more upset than he seemed to be for sure.
Oh yeah.
Megadeth shares official trailer for Megadeth Behind the Mask global cinematic event, which I will
see that too.
If that comes to AMC, I will definitely be there.
I want to see that too.
And then Saxon is recording a new studio album set for a late 2026 release.
Wow, good for them. Already following up Hellfire and Damnation.
I know, right? I was like, man, was that this year? Or?
No, I wanted to say it was last year, but still, I mean, good for them.
Yeah. Let me pop this up here. This is actually the video with Ricky here. And I'll blow it up in a minute here. So,
I was recently notified, probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago, from a guy named Pat. I apologize for pronouncing the name wrong, Gisaldo, and he told me that I was going to be inducted into the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. And when he informed me of that, I was extremely honored, and it is an honor. And I want to tell Pat how much I appreciate that. I want to thank the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame for the induction. Heavy metal has always meant so much to me. I also feel that it's a genre that is like put in the back seat so many times. I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't really acknowledge heavy metal the way I think it should be. And that genre is so important to me, and I probably wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for the heavy metal genre. So I'm extremely honored. But that being said, I'm declining my induction into the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. Please understand, this is nothing against the organization. I applaud them for what they are attempting to do. But if you were going to put in start your own Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, or if I was going to start my own Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, I think the first band I would probably put in would be Metallica. and I looked at the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame and or Sabbath, but I looked at the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame and Metallica and Slayer and Pantera and Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden. Those bands are not in the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. So in my opinion, I should not be in before those bands. So I am withdrawing my induction, so to make way for people that are more deserving than myself. Again, I want to thank the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame for the honor. I am so grateful for that, and I wish you much success with the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, but I am going to be declining my induction. But thank you very much anyways.
I get his point of view.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with his point of view and his reasoning, but all of those bands will be there.
Well, at some
It's
point,
not-
yeah.
it's not-
But I think he was saying like you have so many big bands that are not there. That why should I go in before those guys?
Now, like
You
I
know?
say, I totally 100% understand his perspective. I totally get it, because if it wasn't for heavy metal, you wouldn't have Ricky Rackman,
Right.
But if it wasn't for Ricky Rackman, a lot of people wouldn't have gotten to see the videos of those bands. So I mean,
Well,
it's
we wouldn't know a
again,
lot of those bands either.
right?
I mean,
So
you got to think about bands like Faster Pussycat, LA Guns, all those guys that went through the Cat House that we probably wouldn't even know of if he didn't host that show and turn them on to those bands. You know, it's like,
so like I say, I understand why he's declining, and I totally get it. But I mean, and the funny thing is like that Pat guy, like I say, I don't know his last name either, but the dude who he was talking to, that dude will make sure those bands get in,
sure.
because I mean, and the funny thing is it's not like they're offering Ricky his induction because his career's over. He's still doing shit,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, all those bands, I mean, they're still, of course, Slayer was done. Now they're not, but I mean, all those bands are they're still doing stuff. So now I don't know if the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame is using what kind of criteria they're using. We know it's probably not stupid criteria like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but
we don't know the logistics and scheduling around all that either. It's like, maybe they want to put Metallica in, but Metallica's always, somewhere else at the time, they may be in Europe doing a tour at the time or, anything like that. So, I mean, and they want the band to be there, I'm sure, to accept it. So, I mean, you got to look at other factors too, I guess, but I don't blame him. I'm not going to blame him, but I do think
I don't blame him.
But the thing is, it's like, I think he's deserving of it. I
Absolutely.
Really do.
100%.
And hopefully at some point, he don't regret that. I guess that's like,
right.
Because I do hope they put him in, and he's accepting of it at some point. So but definitely kind of strange because once he got it, he was excited about it, and then because he posted a thing about it talking about how excited he was for having the induction or whatever, and then he got to seeing who was in it, and he's like, wait a minute. He said, why are these bands not in there and you're offering something to me? He said, one of those bands should have my spot, and so yeah, I mean, I do get it. But the thing is now that's happened. I don't know if they would be able to even get one of those bands to take his spot, because of, like I said, because of, they may be recording, they may be doing all kind of stuff, it's kind of like, this is probably a time frame. Who knows if they even, maybe Pat could talk to him and say, hey man, I've hit those guys up. I could not make it happen, and then Ricky may have changed his mind. I think maybe Ricky should have talked to him. I think before making that,
maybe
that's just me, but
maybe he did. I don't know.
Or maybe he did. Yeah, he didn't really say whether he did or not. So that's kind of
it just seems strange.
Yeah,
but like I say, I understand the perspective.
It was his offer and his decision to make, so I'm not going to be mad about it. And that's the same way I was thinking about with the football situation. Where they said, hey, we don't want to do it. Well, fine. I mean, that's your obligation. You don't want to do it. Fine. But they're making a big deal out of it because ESPN is losing a lot of fucking money. That's why they're mad. But yeah. So I don't know if there's money involved in the Hall of Fame either. I don't know how that works either. So
I don't know.
I mean, So
Yeah.
I don't know because everything that you look at, and this from being at shipping and receiving that stuff, is there's always some kind of legality paperwork you got to sign for shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it's who knows what's behind that either. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's hit the road. You ready to hit the road?
Yeah.
I only have the one thing to talk about this week. Over the last few weeks, we've heard rumblings of who will be playing next year's Milwaukee Metal Fest. First, it was confirmed that Acid Bath would be headlining, and that was why the festival's dates were moved. Then we learned that not only was Iron Reagan reuniting, but they were playing at the Rave Eagles Ballroom during the annual fest. Now, with the holidays right around the corner, festival organizers dropped a big-ass gift at our heavy metal tree this year and revealed a couple dozen acts slated to play the Milwaukee Metal Fest 2026, and the list is already jam-packed with hard hitters. According to today's announcement, Acid Bath will be the headliner on Friday, June 5th, Killswitch will headline on Saturday, June 6th, and Ministry will headline on Sunday, June 7th. In addition to the headliners, we know a huge number of bands that will be playing the fest. Some standouts include Agalloch, Obituary, Dead Guy Nails, and Polka Dot Cadaver, to name a few. The following is a full list of currently announced acts so far. Polka Dot Cadaver sounds like the guy, hero in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
So the following list is Acid Bath, After the Burial, Agalloch, Belushi Speedball, Brick by Brick, Casket Robbery, Dark Horse Prophet, Dead by Wednesday, Dead Guy, Dusk, Our Friends Eyes of the Living. Congratulations to those guys, by the way.
Hell yeah, man.
Havoc, Hyrax, Human Artifacts, Insight. Hey, here's Richie too. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to read these and they're like, hey, they've been on the show.
And that's cool as hell. It
is cool as hell. Yeah. Integrity, Internal Bleeding, Iron Reagan, Jeffrey Nothing, Killswitch Engage, Master, Ministry, Misery, Mortal Skull, Nails, None Slaughter, Obituary, Polka Dot Cadaver, Power Trip, Prong, Striking 13, Sworn Enemy, Thanatonic, Threnody, Trip to the Morgue, Uwada, and then Weekend Nachos. So that's so far that's the lineup, and it's going to be held at the Rave Eagles Ballroom from June 5th to 7th, with a pre-party scheduled to take place on June 4th, and tickets go on sale on December 15th, which is this Monday, with single 2 days and 3 day options available. So there you go. So if you want to go to that Milwaukee Metal Fest, get those tickets this Monday.
Nice. Congratulations, congratulations to Eyes of the Living, man.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I put that out because I know they posted on all their stuff, and
they did.
I was like, man, that's so cool. And then I seen the story, I was like, oh, cool, I get to mention it. So,
yep. All right. Well, we are coming up on the end of 2025, of course, all over the world, which means that 2026 is going to be in full swing here soon, which means tour announcements. And man, were there a lot of tour announcements this week. Yeah. Holy shit, there were a lot of tour announcements this week. So buckle in. I'll get through this as quickly as I can. So for hitting the road for the week of the 6th through the 12th, leading off at theprp.com, we have Necrogoblicon, Enterprise Earth, and Wretched going out starting March 5th in Salt Lake City, Utah at Metro Music Hall, finishing March 12th in Allentown, Pennsylvania at the Arrow Archer Music Hall. They will be in Nashville on March 10th at Exit Inn. Then Necrogoblicon and Enterprise Earth will be going out with Hanabi starting March 13th in Boston, Massachusetts at Big Night Live, finishing April 11th in Los Angeles at the Belasco. Infected Rain is going on a U.S. tour with the openers to be announced starting May 4th in Lubbock, Texas at Jake's, finishing June 6th in Las Vegas at Swan Dive. Voivod, and if you've watched What We Do in the Shadows, Bat, going on a March U.S. tour starting March 20th in Houston, Texas at Hell's Heroes Festival, finishing March 27th in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Vanguard for 2 minutes to Tulsa. And I did not know this about this band, but the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza is from Murfreesboro. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
I did not know that. But
wow.
the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza is going to play their first hometown show in over a decade on February 27th in Nashville at the Mill at the Cannery Hall. I did not know they were from Nashville. I learned that last night.
That's pretty wild.
I had no idea. The Amity Affliction, In Heart's Wake, Red Hook, and Head Wreck are going to Australia, starting February 13th in Sunshine Coast at the station, finishing March 21st in Adelaide at Bridgeway Hotel. In Heart's Wake and Head Wreck will not be at the last show. Uwata, Mortis, Rome, and Wraith Knight are going on a North American tour starting April 10th in Portland, Oregon at Dante's, finishing May 13th in Seattle, Washington at El Corazon. Breaking Benjamin and Chevelle are going on a European and UK tour. Chevelle will be a part of the tour from July 3rd to July 17th. The tour begins June 9th in Leipzig, Germany at Felsenkeller, finishing July 17th in London, England at the O2 Forum, Kentish Town. Ice Cube, Public Enemy, The Black Crowes, Pierce the Veil, and the Barbarians of California have been announced as the openers for Guns N' Roses' upcoming North American tour. We previously spoke about those dates when it was first announced. Sepultura has announced their farewell Australian tour starting March 20th in Perth at Metrocity, which is awesome that they named a venue after fucking the Incredibles.
Yep.
Thank you, average citizen. Finishing March 29th in Metrocity. Finishing March 29th in Brisbane at the Tivoli. Unsane has a European and UK tour coming up. Starting March 13th in Hamburg, Germany at Molotov, finishing April 19th in Prague, Czechia at Meat Factory. Defeated Sanity, Vulvodynia, and Organectomy are going on a U.S. tour with Excrescence, Scasm, and Horrific Visions each taking a turn as opener, starting April 16th in Anaheim, California at the Parish at the House of Blues, finishing May 16th in Las Vegas at Backstage Bar. Satch Vai, the band featuring Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, and Animals as Leaders are going on a North American tour, starting April 1st in Seattle, Washington at the Paramount Theater, finishing May 30th in Vienna, Virginia at Wolf Trap Foundation for the Performing Arts. They will be in Nashville on May 7th at the Ryman Auditorium. Slow Mosa is going on their first ever North American headlining tour with the openers to be announced, starting March 26th in New York at the Bowery Ballroom, finishing May 1st in Cleveland, Ohio at the Grog Shop. They will be in Nashville on April 3rd at the Blue Room, which is a small bar on. I looked it up last night because I've never heard of this venue. It's a bar that's on 7th Avenue, the Blue Room. So Creator, Carcass, and Cold Steel are going to be touring the U.S. in May, starting May 7th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at Revolution Live, finishing May 23rd in Huntington, New York at the Paramount. The only Tennessee date is May 11th in Knoxville at the Mill and Mine. Vanna, Cloudy Field, Deadlands, and Red Hook are going on a U.S. tour starting April 17th in Atlanta, Georgia at Masquerade Hell, finishing June 1st in Louisville, Kentucky at Headliners Music Hall. They will be in Nashville on May 26th at the Basement East. Bill Murray, the Home Team, and Gang are going on a U.S. tour starting April 17th in Denver, Colorado at the Fillmore, finishing May 17th in Boston, Massachusetts at MGM Music Hall at Fenway. They will be in Nashville on May 13th at the Pinnacle. System of a Down and Idols have announced a show at the Estadio GNP Seguros in Mexico City, Mexico on May 27th, 2026. AFI and Choir Boy are going on a North American tour starting April 15th in Seattle, Washington at Showbox Sodo, finishing May 2nd in Minneapolis, Minnesota at First Avenue. Super Heaven and Angel Dust are going to Australia starting April 30th in Brisbane at the Triffid, finishing May 6th in Perth at Amplifier Bar. Arm's Length, the Callous Dowboys, Harrison Gordon, and Super Sometimes are going on a North American tour starting April 21st in Ottawa, Ontario at the Bronson Theatre, finishing May 24th in Toronto, Ontario at Danforth Music Hall. They will be in Nashville on May 1st at Brooklyn Bowl. Clutch, Corrosion of Conformity, and J.D. Pincus are going on a U.S. tour starting April 9th in Sayreville, New Jersey at Starland Ballroom, finishing May 3rd in Asheville, North Carolina at the Orange Peel. The only Tennessee date is May 2nd in Chattanooga at the Signal. No moshing allowed. Filter, Finger 11, and Local H going on a U.S. tour starting March 5th in Wenatchee, Washington at Town Toyota Center, finishing April 1st in Cleveland, Ohio at the House of Blues. The only Tennessee date is March 15th in Pelham at the Caverns. So I still want to go see a show at that venue.
I do too, yeah.
That'd be so cool. Okay, Bloodywood, The Pretty Wild, Ladrones, and Anchor are going on a North American tour. Do you know what the name of this tour is?
Oh, God. Well, who was it again?
Bloodywood, The Pretty Wild, Ladrones, and Anchor. This is fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I'm scared. Am I scared?
Well, you know who Bloody Wood is, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is called the System of a Brown tour.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I didn't name it.
That is hilarious.
I didn't name it. When I fucking saw it, I was like, I have to make a note of that because that is hilarious. Oh my
that is
god.
pretty funny.
Starting April 10th in Des Moines, Iowa at Woolies, finishing May 16th in Detroit at St. Andrews Hall. The only Tennessee date is May 12th in Chattanooga at the Signal. Slaughter to Prevail, Whitechapel, and Attila are going on a North American tour starting March 21st in Nashville, Tennessee at the Pinnacle, finishing April 22nd in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Myth Live. As I Lay Dying is going on a Shadows Are Security 20th anniversary tour of Russia, of all places.
Wow.
Starting March 3rd in Krasnodar at the Krop Arena Krasnodar, finishing March 20th in Vladivostok at Fetisov Arena.
They just need to make sure they don't wear their I Stand With Ukraine shirts.
Yeah. The one that I'm looking forward to, Amon Amarth, Death Clock, and Castle Rat are going on a North American tour starting April 15th in Phoenix, Arizona at the Arizona Financial Theater, finishing May 21st in Las Vegas at PH Live at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. They will be in Nashville on May 10th at the Pinnacle. Jairus Johnson, Butcher Babies, and Eva Under Fire, and Lilac, LYLV.
It's Lilac. Yeah.
Lilac. All right. These bands using V's as usual.
Yeah.
This shit's got to stop. They're going on a U.S. tour starting February 8th in Portland, Oregon at the Hawthorne Theater, finishing March 19th in San Francisco at Brick and Mortar. The only Tennessee date, technically it's in Nashville, February 22nd in Madison at the 58, which is that new little venue inside Eastside Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember they closed like the restaurant down, and now there's a little bar area right there. That's it. That's the 58.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the East Side. Wait a minute. So they got two venues.
Technically, they have two concert venues inside Eastside Bowl now. Because remember when we went for Machine Head, it was in the back.
Right.
And when we got there, we ate. It was up front in that little restaurant area in front. Well, that little restaurant area now is now the 58.
Oh,
so it's in there now. Yeah, okay. So it's in there. So now they have two places to have shows, which is kind of cool. I still hope they have a place to get food, but yeah. Cradle of Filth, Suffocation, Ghost Bath, and Cultist Black are going to a U.S. tour. God only knows who's going to be playing with Danny Filth. Starting April 30th in San Antonio, Texas at the Aztec Theater, finishing May 23rd in Denver at the Gothic Theater.
Him and Tim LaBisa should just start a band.
They should, yeah. As I Lay in the Cradle. So,
they get that dude from Vitriol or something with them.
Cradle of Death or something. I don't know. Varials, Unity, Texas, Heavy Hitter, and Bolt Cutter are going on a U.S. tour starting March 12th in Detroit at the Shelter, finishing April 11th in Philadelphia at the First Unitarian Church. Blood for Blood and Scarhead have some U.S. shows announced. Who knows what Scarhead's going to do since Mike Rivera passed away. Starting April 9th in Philadelphia at Underground Arts, finishing May 30th in Detroit at Tied Down. Nothing is going on a world tour. It's not officially a world tour. They're not calling it that. There's like different segments that are set up, but there are so many bands appearing on this tour that they've got going on. I lumped everything into one. But it starts February 8th in Tokyo, Japan at Unit featuring Whir, finishing May 30th in LA at the Hollywood Palladium featuring Ovlov, Cryo Geyser, and Terra Plana. And then why these two bands are getting together, I have no fucking idea. Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte are going on a North American tour starting July 25th in Ridgedale, Missouri at the Thunder Ridge Nature Arena, finishing August 27th in Phoenix, Arizona at the Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater.
Because they're kind of at the same. They're kind of in the same genre now. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Unfortunately, but yeah, that's true.
The Talking Stick Resort is awesome too. By the way, that's where I've seen Gojira and Korn.
Oh,
so pretty cool. It's an outdoor venue, so it's similar to like the Sand or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Then over at MetalStop.com, Hammerfall, Evergrey, and Elven King are going on a North American tour starting September 11th in Atlanta at Prague Power Fest, finishing October 8th in Seattle, Washington at El Corazon. So Nashville was getting quite a few dates on some of these, so that's good to see. So,
and I know you didn't touch on this, but Megadeth's tour, I know we've talked about it before. But they did announce that they were doing a Let There Be Shred, the Ultimate Megadeth Immersive Listening event, and it's actually in Laverne, Tennessee.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So
how the hell did I miss that?
So the price of that is $950.
Oh my lord!
But it's like an all day thing though. It's like they're doing like everything all day. You got to be 18 to attend. The day is going to be listen to the new album early, Megadeth's acoustic performance, and then a Megadeth masterclass, then a Q&A with the band, guitar talk with Dave and Gibson CEO Caesar Guican or Guiacine, or however.
I don't know.
Hail Caesar. Photo op with the band, a catered dinner with Megadeth beer and House of Mustang wine, immersive photo op experiences, autographed album art poster, exclusive merch, and more. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you're getting. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if I had $950, I would be all over that, you know. But
I mean,
very, very cool, I think.
It actually does sound – it actually doesn't sound bad, everything you get for the money. But it's a lot of money, yeah.
It is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
But I'm saying – this is it, dude. This may be the last time you ever get to see them, anything. I mean, they're definitely trying to cash in on their last tour for sure. So
they are
doing the cinema thing and all that stuff. So, I mean, they're definitely doing a lot of stuff that they wouldn't normally do. So,
which I will go see the documentary.
Oh, absolutely, I will go see that. Absolutely. I hope the listening event is good. I hope it turns out. People turn out for it. But
I just don't have an extra $1,000 laying around.
Jesus Christ, who does, man? Like it's like go to the grocery store and eat, or go see Megadeth. What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to make you a little jealous. A little bit, but we plan on going to Ireland next year, like we've told you.
Right.
We've actually moved the date. We're going in July now because we're going to end our tour in London to see Iron Maiden in
awesome. I mean, I am jealous, but I'm super happy for you guys.
Yeah,
of course.
We were just going to go to Louder in Life, and then I thought, and then she was like, I don't know, I want to plan it. She asked me about it out of the blue one day. She goes, hey, is the Louder in Life set going to be like if they played in the UK? I said, fuck no. I said, that shit in UK is probably going to be like 2 hours of fucking Iron Maiden.
Probably.
And she's like, oh, okay. And then she popped that on me the other day. She goes, hey, I think we're going to buy tickets to this. And I'm like, okay, I thought you wanted to go in April. She said, no, we're going to build it around this and go in July. So, okay.
That's awesome, man. Talk about a bucket list trip. Jeez.
I know, right? Like,
of course, you have to go to Newcastle. You got to go see.
I know.
You got to go see Lewis. You got to go see Lewis while you're over there.
We need to talk about that after the show too.
We do need to talk about that after the show.
I meant to say something. I didn't get on here early enough to talk to you about anything because all of my shit wanted to fall off this thing.
But yeah,
So cool. That is the hitting the road.
I'm happy for you guys. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was like, man, I gotta tell Chris about that. It's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. Just to be able to see them is one thing, but to be able to see them in fucking
their home turf,
in London is like, wow.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
All right, that will carry us into our theme of the week. This week we went with real or fake. You decide. But I got the real side of things.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna try to keep it real. So.
Let's just hope keeping it real doesn't go wrong. So.
Yeah, keeping it real goes wrong. I kicked mine off with Megadeth. The Threat is Real from Dystopia 2016.
Nice.
Then went with Obey the Brave, Get Real from Youngblood in 2012. This is a band I kind of stumbled upon when I was looking at this stuff. I was like, and I listened to the song and I said, oh, this is a badass song, so I'm going to stick it on here. Then I went with Full Metal Patriot, The Real Deal, which was an earlier single from this year. Then I went with Seven Dust, Truth Killer, because, true and real is kind of hand in hand. So that was from the Truth Killer album 2023. Then I went with Lamb of God, Reality Bath from Lamb of God 2020. Then I went with Pantera Clash with Reality from Cowboys from Hell 1990.
Underrated track.
Oh, God, yes. Then I went with Wasp, The Real Me from the Headless Children 1989. Then I went with
Hello Me, Meet the Real Me.
Then I went with Soil Unreal from Scream, The Essentials 2017. Then it was Super Heaven or Super Haven. I don't know. I guess it is Heaven because it's HEAV. So Super Heaven.
Yep.
Numb to What Is Real, and that's from their self-titled album earlier from this year. Then was Slayer, Fictional Reality from Divine Intervention, 1994. Then it was Testament, True American Hate from Dark Roots of Earth, 2012. Then went with Mushroom Head, We Are the Truth from The Righteous and the Butterfly, 2014. Then I went with Metal Church, Flee from Reality from The Human Factor, 1991. Then went with Bullet from a Valentine, Truth Hurts from Temper, 2013. Then I went with As I Lay Dying, The Sound of Truth from An Ocean Between Us, 2007. Then I went with Lazarus AD, Absolute Power, because absolute is real. The Onslaught, 2007.
That's such a good fucking song.
Then I went with Warbringer, Severed Reality from Waking into Nightmares, 2009. Then I went with our good friends Paralysis with Vacant Reality from Spiral of Suffering this year. Then I went with Brainstorm, Recall the Real from Fire Soul, 2014. And then last but not least, I went with Armored Saint, Real Swagger from Nod to the Old School, 2001. So,
nice.
So a lot of different bands we usually don't touch on in there. So
that's awesome. I love that shit. You know what's funny is like we when you told me that we were doing real and fake, obviously I had the fake part, and one of the first things I thought of, because we've done true and false before.
Right.
We've done true and false before. So it's like, all right, I'm going to try to do my part without having anything, because false and fake, same thing.
Exactly, yeah.
But I was like, all right, I'm going to see how many I can get without using false. Because so we've already done true and false. I got 21.
Nice.
Without using false. I got 21 without using false, which is cool. So my very first one, and it's funny because I haven't listened to this song and I couldn't even tell you how long I've listened to it's been since I've listened to this song. But this song came out in 1999, and I think when I first heard it, I think it was on one of those Metal for the Masses
compilation
CDs or whatever. But it always stuck with me because it's 98% in Spanish, but it's fucking super heavy. It's got a little bit of an interlude where it's got like this little Latin flair to it, like the little bongo drums and like, the Latin guitar. But the name of the song is Fake, and the band is Puya off of their album Fundamental from 1999. So that was actually the very first song I thought of when you said real and fake. I was like, holy shit, I haven't heard that song in fucking forever. So leading off with that song, Fake by Puya from Fundamental 1999. Then I went with Fake Healer by Metal Church off of Classic Live from 2017. Now that was a studio re-recording featuring Todd LaTorre. So that was what I went with next. Yep. Yeah. Then I went with Fake Messiah by Lamb of God off of Wrath from 2009. House of Fake by UDO off of Decadent from 2015. Phony Smiles and Fake Hellos, so I got two right there, for Black Label Society off Stronger Than Death from 2000. Then I went with In the Dawn of the AI. Of course, obviously we know the A and AI means artificial.
Right.
By Orden Ogan off of Final Days from 2021. Then I went with The Pit and the Poser, because if you're a poser, you're a fake, by FKU, Freddy Krueger's Underwear. That's the name they chose.
That's right.
From Where Moshers Dwell from 2009. Then I went with Artificial Sun Projection by Scar Symmetry off of Holographic Universe from 2008. Then I went with Counterfeit from Malevolence from Where Only the Truth Is Spoken from this year, which is an absolute banger of an album. Counterfeit God by Black Label Society, also off of Stronger Than Death from 2000. So not only did I have two songs from the same band, I had two songs from the same album that actually fit the
That's crazy.
The theme.
That hardly ever happens.
It very rare. I don't think that's ever happened where I've gotten two songs off the same album. Same band, sure.
It's funny because I've had a couple times where I could have done that and I didn't because of that. I'm just like, I'm going to pick the one I like better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does happen, but it's very rare.
It is rare.
Two fit in the same thing.
Yeah. And then I'm sure half the people listening are going to shake their head when I say this one. Champagne by Five Finger Death Punch off And Justice for None from 2018. I know there are some people just really can't stand Five Finger Death Punch, and that's fine. It is what it is, because I can't.
They sell out every show. So
yeah, they do.
Somebody likes them.
Yeah, so it is what it is. I can't stand Sleep Token, so it is what it is. Well, then Valley Forge, because obviously if you forge something, you're like forging a signature. Valley Forge by Iced Earth off the Glorious Bird in 2004, which was Tim Ripper Owens' Iced Earth, by the way. Then I went with Replica by Fear Factory off Demanufacture from 1995. Then I went with Infanticide AI by Testament off Parabellum from this year, because why the fuck not?
Right.
Then I went with Unreal Perception by Accuser off the Forlorn Divide from 2016. Then I had Man-Made Devil by Manimal off Trapped in the Shadows from 2015. And then to round out, I have 5 from friends of ours.
Oh my God.
Artificial Sun by Arched Fire off Trust Betrayal for 2023. Artificial Imprisonment from Dreamlord off the album of the same name from 2025. Praise the Fraud by Extinction AD off Culture of Violence from 2022. Synthetic Dreams by Game Over from Hellframes 2023. And last but not least, and this one also kind of makes me laugh because it's from What We Do in the Shadows, Charlatan by The Defaced off their album Charlatans from 2022. So
cool, man.
So yeah, friends of the show definitely getting some love on this week's theme of the week. So.
Yeah, because I had what, 2?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that one turned out really well. That was a fun one to make because of all of the, because all of the antonyms that I was able to use. So yeah, it was.
Yeah. That's what I had to like go in and use a bunch too, because I was like, so I'm running out of real stuff here. So
not antonyms, synonyms.
Yeah.
But because real and fake are antonyms of each other. But yeah, synonyms for fake. Yeah. But so that was a fun one, and I actually went ahead and I already put it together before the show.
Oh, nice.
So, wait a minute, hang on.
So now it's on me. I got you.
So yeah, I'm going to be sending it to you. Wait a minute. Why is it not letting me add? Well, I'll figure it out here in a minute, because I have to send it to you. Oh, invite collaborators. There it is. There it was.
All right. Well, that will take us into our album review section.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
I'm here to inform you that I did not do the album I told you I was going to do. So.
It was a very, very strange new release week, because I had a plan A, and I ended up having to go with plan B. And then I was like, well, shit, now I got to go with plan C. And then you were like, hey, I'm going to listen to this. It's like, I'm already listening to it.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah, man. But, I mean, I guess we could have gotten 2 different perspectives on the same album, but I was like, kind
of. But it was interesting.
But I tried to listen to the one that I told you about, and I got 2 songs in. I said, I can't do this, dude. I can't. It was that bad, dude. I'm just like, I can't do it.
Okay.
It was very, very, some of the weirdest shit I've ever heard. I thought, you could imagine if you could imagine like maybe the 1600s Salem, Massachusetts, and they're doing seances with metal. That maybe kind of where I was at. So
okay, yeah, that does seem a little odd.
I was like, don't think this matches very well. So I wound up going with Wings of Destiny, their album Masters of War, which is, I think it's actually something you may like. It's a little more your stance than mine, but it's a power metal album, so we got that going for you. Wings of Destiny was formed in 2013 as just Destiny before changing their name in 2015 to Wings of Destiny. Excuse me. They are a power metal band, hailing from San Jose, Costa Rica.
Nice.
Currently signed to Wormhole Death Records. The current members, and I'm going to kill these names. I'm fucking to you. Current members are Horatio Paris Kofod on drums, Kofoed, maybe, I don't know. Andres Castro on guitars, Anton DeRusso on vocals, David Schenkel on guitars, and then Mike LaPond on bass. Well, those last two wasn't that bad. But so the last couple were all newer additions. So the drummer and the guitarist were the two mainstays there. The vocalist joined in 13, and then the other guitarist and bassist joined in 2022 and 2024. So fairly new to the band. So. This is the band's 7th full-length release, 11 tracks, 46 minutes, 29 seconds in length. I will say this: it's probably definitely everything you would expect from a power metal record. Vocals were a little weird at times, but I'm not the biggest power metal follower, so you can take that as you want to. But I do think the cleans were really good. But there was like this almost seemed like a scratchy scream. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if like that's a backing vote, like if it's a dual vocal, or if he's doing that, transitioning. I'm not sure. But it was definitely a little weird to me. I'm just like, don't really. So I guess to me, from what I know about power metal, it didn't seem very power metal vocal.
Oh, okay.
Related.
It could be something they layered in. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, definitely. Because like I said, you got more of an ear for that, so you can definitely let me know what you think. But the vocals alternated several times throughout the album too, so it's kind of like, okay, is he doing that, or is there a different vocal? So I mean, so
okay,
it is what it is. But not horrible. I was just kind of strange, I guess I could say to me. But the guitars were well done, as you can imagine. Some good solos in there. Little dual guitar attack you could hear in there. So definitely kind of probably the highlight of the album, I would say.
Cool.
Drumming wasn't anything, I guess too crazy, but it was pretty solid. I mean, it wasn't like you didn't hear anything that would surprise you, I guess, kind of like what I was saying in the beginning. It's kind of like, well, that's power metal. So power metal is basically, is a guitar attack from most part. So, but there was a 59-second intro, which led in well with the first track, so no complaints there. It's like I said, I always like if they lead in, they're fine, but if it's just like a separate thing, I'm just like, okay, why'd you waste 45 seconds to do that? It didn't do anything, not for me anyway. But like I said, everybody's different. And of course, the keyboards played a big role here too, so as you can imagine. So, which to me, they are overly used at times with power metal.
That can happen.
Yeah. So this, I don't know if it wasn't like that in every song, maybe here, but a couple of them I felt like they could have backed off on it a little bit. But it's not bad. I'm gonna give it 3.5 horns. It wasn't a horrible record. I think that it was really well done. So
I might get a chance to listen to it here. What's up, Hank Hill? Joining us in the chat on YouTube. Always good to see Hank Hill. All right, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
But all right, my album review and almost Jason's was the new album from Sacred Leather, Keep the Fire Burning. They are a heavy / thrash metal band formed in Indianapolis. Encyclopedia Metallum, ironically enough, doesn't have a formation year listed for them, but Spirit of Metal has their birth date, as it were, as 2013. So we'll just go with that. Okay. They're currently signed to King Volume Records. They are a quintet consisting of Magnus Legrand on bass, Sivan Owens on rhythm guitar, JJ Highway on lead guitar, D. Rathchild on vocals, and Don Diamond on drums. This is the band's second full-length studio album. Their debut LP, anyway, Ultimate Force, came out in 2018. Ironically enough, they had a live album come out in 2015 before they ever had a studio album come out. So
really, that's kind of strange.
An interesting formula there. So the new album clocks in at 10 tracks, 40 minutes and 15 seconds, with an asterisk because, like your album, there is a 49-second intro, which unlike your album, kind of is a standalone that really didn't do anything. So yeah, it didn't really do anything. It wasn't a lead in to track 2. It just kind of was like there.
It wasn't even a good guitar solo or anything, right?
It was okay. It really wasn't like
a lead in, I guess.
It wasn't really technically like a full-fledged like lead in instrumental. Where all of that, or they just decided to have like a quick little jam session before the track. So it was one of those. It's kind of like, okay, that was just kind of,
it was a warm up,
more or less noise, kind of. But
that's what they should do. Like when they do those things, they should name the first track warm up.
Yeah. Track 2 and track 3, they were the first 2 full-fledged tracks. They were also, I would say, probably from a tempo and pace perspective, they were probably like the fastest 2 tracks. Gave up almost more of a speed metal vibe than like a heavier thrash metal vibe, which was kind of nice. Then let's see, there were a couple of actual kind of full-fledged ballads, but they were a little more on the heavier side. You had Wake Me Up and Tear Out My Heart, which Tear Out My Heart was track 7, and track number 6 was called Flatline, and it was a 50-second kind of interlude, which I will forgive because that one did lead into Tear Out My Heart, and it actually did have kind of like the heart monitor kind of flatline sound, like in a
right.
I will say this though. That little instrumental interlude in track 6 has probably the worst sounding bass drum recording I've ever heard in my life. I don't know why or whatever. I'm laughing at the chat because one of my coworkers just chimed in, and he actually told me yesterday at work that he was gonna watch the podcast, and he was gonna put that in the chat, and he did. There he is.
Man of his word.
Man of his word. What's up, Dustin? Good to see you, man. Yeah. So the funny thing about that is I bring up the bass drum in that little interlude. I bring it up because for one, it sounded terrible, but I also bring it up because this is one of those albums that it's kind of hard to believe that in 2025 that we're still getting albums that sound like this, because by and large, it sounded like it was recorded analogly, or I don't even know if that's a word, on analog. So it sounded flat altogether. And JJ Highway's vocals, it was another one of those instances where he kind of sounded like he was in a coffee can. It didn't help that he already had reverb on his vocals anyway, but when you've got reverb and it kind of sounds like he's singing to you from a cave or whatever, because he's got a great voice, he's got great range, hits a lot of high notes, like I'm talking about like Bruce Dickinson and Rob Halford high. And the overall vibe of the album is kind of like Looks That Kill meets Last in Line. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's got a lot of an 80s feel to it. Mistress of the Sun, track 10, the intro to track 10 actually sounds like Last in Line anyway. So, that's kind of where that comes from, because that's the vibe I got from track 10. So it's got an 80s vibe to it, which we've talked about it before. In and of itself is not a problem. But when it sounds like it was recorded in 1985, that can be a problem.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no problem with it kind of having kind of like a throwback to that sound. But when it sounds like it was recorded in that year, sometimes it can be a problem. But compositionally, a lot of tempo, especially at the beginning of the album. It got a little bit more mid-tempo, a little bit more melodic as the album went on. Guitar solos were very well written and very well done. And I just should correct myself. Dee Rathchild is the singer. JJ Highway is the guitarist. He plays the solos very well, but Dee has got a great voice. Dee Rathchild has a great voice. Got the two guys mixed up, so I want to correct myself there. But so I enjoyed the album as far as like the way the songs are written and the way they were played. There was nothing earth shattering really about the drums on this one either, other than the bass drum on on that interlude. It's so bad. But it was a 50-second interlude, so I'm gonna kind of forgive it because I mean they were fine the rest of the way. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 horns. I could have seen my way maybe to giving it 4 horns if it would have sounded better from an overall production standpoint, not from a composition or a performance standpoint. So so
Cool.
so that's what I'm gonna give it. So I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy
So
it.
what does it look like for next week?
Next week is
I'm sure it's getting shorter. So
next week is definitely a much shorter list. Hell, there's one band that has 6 re-releases coming out next week.
oh my god! So that takes that off the table.
That actually inflates the list a little bit. So over from our friends at heavymusichq.com for December 19th, leading off with Ether with Verfalschem, Aunt Cynthia's Cabin with Misty Woman, that is a re-release. Black Pig Meat with Symbiotic Dream. Blood of the Wolf with 5 Indomitable. Cab Fighter with The Sea Between Stars. Chaos Over Cosmos with The Hypercosmic Paradox. Dead Sun with This Life is a Grave. Eyeless Sight with... Okay, give me a second here. Athazagoraphobia. That's a re-release. Funeral Vomit with Upheaval of Necromancy. We have Hagzissa with Revelry of a Mistreated Jade. That's an EP. Hexagraph with Valsen Van Hoop. Imperator with The Lion Spirit. And then the 6 re-releases by Lip Cream, Nine Shocks, Bigfoot Cassette, Close to the Edge, Kill Ugly Pop, Sin, and Thrash Till Death. Then we have The Losts, more than one, Venom Within, Lynchgate with Precipice, Morte France with Hesperia, Nemorous with What Remains When Hope Has Failed, Not Fragile with One Way to Glory, that's a re-release, Old Outlier with From Shallow Lives to Shallow Graves. Then we have Olymp with Rising, Pythonic with Decomposition, that's an EP, Sacrifice with Tears, that's a re-release. We have Skyton with Wine for a Tormented Soul, Star Scourge with Conqueror of the Stars, Betwixt Surrendered Seraphim, The Lands Between Bleed. The album title is probably longer than the album itself. Shadowburn with Through the Hourglass, that's an EP. Steve Blanco with Echoes of Dead. Tay Defer with Indivinus. Trolled with Till Guild Under Elven. Tumulo with Evangelo do Canhoto. I probably didn't say that right. Vomitus Santus with Eaten by Maggots, that's an EP. And Weft with The Splintered Ore. So I don't know. With between all the re-releases, that's a much shorter list than it actually first appeared. So who knows?
Well, maybe we can find something out of the thing to at least do a review. So
yeah,
if not, then it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah, but probably, and I'd have to go back and look, obviously, but could be to date the shortest list of the year. Now, looking ahead to December 26th, the day after Christmas, 5 releases. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're coming. That's another reason we take off is because there's really nothing to review. Might as well just do the end of the year stuff during those times
and who knows? I mean, if I've got some time preparing for the album or the year in review show, I may take a minute to check one of those out if I have time. So
for sure, yeah.
So who knows? Might actually get time to do like a quick write up, but who knows? But yeah, cool. That's it.
So that will wrap up everything here today, and hopefully, like I said, next week we don't know kind of what's going on. We do got a line on the water for an interview. If we don't have that, then we're probably just going to go ahead and start preparing for the end of the year review stuff. And I mean, it does take a long time to get everything together. So
I mean, and especially after this year. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have said it every year we've been doing this, and obviously we're just about to finish our 5th year. So we probably have said it every December that I can't believe how busy this year was. But I mean, it's just as true this year as it's been the past 4 years. With the amount of album reviews, with the amount of interviews, with the amount of unfortunately with the in memoriam that I have to build and put together.
Yeah, that's going to take some time too.
So all that stuff. So, I mean, there's definitely some legwork to do for these year in review segments that we do.
Luckily, I was smart this year and did the album covers kind of as I went. So
that's what
I got that PowerPoint going. So
yeah, that's what I've done all along. It's like whenever I listen to another album or whatever. So I mean, my album cover presentation, that's completely up to date.
Yeah,
so that's done. So yeah, I don't have to worry.
I think I got a few to add from the last couple of weeks, but I think most for the most part, it's all in there. So
yeah, I don't have to worry about that. That's done. That's completely current. So we're good to go there. So that is one thing I won't have to worry about. So, and as far as the in memoriam goes, I have everything in chronological order. I have screenshots for everybody. So, it's just piecing it together and adding the music and all that good stuff. But I mean,
making sure it all kind of times out right. So
exactly, making sure it still flows. And the messed up thing is that'll actually be the last thing I do because obviously up until the 31st, we could have more passings.
Right.
That we have to deal with. So it's not one of those things. It's like, well, I can just cut this off because it wouldn't be fair if we unfortunately lose somebody else between now and then. So, so it goes without saying that that's one of those things that's probably going to be, the last thing to be done. So,
all right.
But yeah, before we go, thank you to Hank Hill and thank you for Dustin to doing exactly what he said he would do. So
that's kind of funny.
But joining us on YouTube, we appreciate you both. So
yeah. So all right. So in the meantime, you always have ways to check us out, and I said check out our 24/7 radio station at thefrontrow.net/radio. You can go on there. There's a couple different listings there. I just picked a Metalheads Unite one and listen away. So
yep. And then check us out on all of our social media platforms, our Facebook group and our Facebook page. The page is public, the group is private. On X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, and check out all of the past interviews and the current playlists on Spotify now. The new theme of the week will be posted more than likely by the end of the weekend. And then, as always, you can email us at metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can check out that, like I said earlier in the show, you can check out the latest interview that we have posted up on Spotify with Dream Lord. That's another thing is like, I'm trying to get all that. So I got 2 more to cut up and get out there in the next couple of weeks. So, and I try not to like oversaturate it because I want to give people time to listen to the latest one. So probably, one middle of the week next week, one maybe last one maybe toward the weekend. I'd like to get all of the Rockin' Pods cut up too because I haven't really done that yet either. I got a couple, but I didn't do all of them. So
and we had a ton of them this year. I mean, in 2023 when we went, I thought we did a lot of interviews, but man, we did, but man,
yeah, we did way more this time.
I think. We did.
Yeah, hopefully it comes to a time to where it's like boom, 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 boom. We don't have any time in between, but. That
would be cool.
Yeah, but we'll get there at some point.
But on the downside, what that would do is it would rush somebody out who might.
Yeah, that's true too.
Actually, like a Brian Slagle who might want to stay 30 or 45 minutes, and then he's like, "Well, the next person's here, so we got to see you later." So
that's true. Yeah, I guess that's kind of why they don't do it like they schedule. They don't schedule it that way, probably because of that.
And didn't Chris and Kyle stay a little longer than they had to too? I think they stayed maybe 20 or 22 minutes.
I know Valkyrie's Fire did.
So I mean, we did have some of our interviews go a little longer than 15, but then like the one with Christopher Williams where we spent 10 of the 15 minutes talking about cartoons. But I mean, so I mean, it ended up being it was what it was, but it was still an absolute blast. It was such a good time.
Yeah, no, that's another thing. They're starting to prepare next year, for next year now for that. So I haven't got an email yet, but I'm kind of surprised. But I'm sure it'll be coming in January. So
I'm sure it's not too far away. So, and the good thing is those are on a Saturday. True. So, should be good. Hopefully they don't.
That is your Saturday show. So.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't jack up the price to where it doesn't make sense for us to go. So
That's true. Yeah.
So
I think they try to kind of keep everything pretty close, to price wise. So, I mean, it wasn't far off from what it was the year before, the couple years before. But
no, it wasn't bad.
It was a little bit of an increase, but you had to look at, they did take a year off, so they probably had to get a little bit more money to get things done. So
yeah, and I mean, they did have, they had they had a lot more, people in 2025 than they did in 23.
Oh yeah.
And then some of the people they did get, like I say, like a Brian Slagle, for him to come out and stuff like that. So
then we wound up getting a free hockey jersey out of the deal, so or baseball shirt or whatever
jersey,
it was.
Yeah, it was baseball, but yeah, it was still it was nice. It was nice. It was nice of them to do that.
We were supposed to pay for that, but I guess whoever made them messed them up. So it's supposed to have our name. It's supposed to have our individual names on the back.
That would have been so much cooler. But I mean, it was nice of them to get those for us. But I mean, if we could have had one that said Metalheads Unite on the back, it would have been so badass.
Yeah, it'd been sick. All right, guys. Speaking of which, now another thing I got to do is find find some artwork for our shirt for next year. So,
that's right. Yep.
Which I never got the one from last year, and I feel bad about that. But with everything going on, I really haven't had the money to get it. So hopefully, maybe we'll get it. And then, of course, I'm still going to get it, and we're going to make get me and you one. But because that's kind of what I do. But and I'd like to get enough to where I can get out to some of the band members that were on the show too. So that's kind of what I wanted to start doing, is kind of ship some stuff out to them. A little bit more appreciative, I think. So
yeah,
especially with I got everything down now and I can just press it pretty quick. So so anyway, I know you guys probably tired of hearing us talk. So hopefully, if we don't see you next week, happy holidays. We will see you first week of January. We'll just keep up with us on our socials to kind of know what's going on and everything like that. And we'll if something happens, I'll do a video or something in between time to let you guys know kind of what's going on. But
yeah, we will. I mean, we'll definitely be around. Worst comes to worst, we're gonna, there will be Metalhead minutes between now and then,
right,
and everything else. So I mean, we're not disappearing completely. I say we'll still, we'll still have those. We'll still post all the birthdays and all the news that's fit to print, even though nobody prints anything anymore. But so we're still going to be around, even if we're not going to, even if we end up not doing anything 100% live between now and then. And if that is the case, like Jason said, everybody have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that good stuff. We will absolutely be back first, for sure, January 3rd of 2026 for our 5th anniversary / 2025 year in review. So it's incredible 5 years of this thing already. So
yeah, cool deal. All right, guys, we'll wrap that one up, and we will see you either this coming up week or first of the year, one or the other. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon either way. Yep. So you guys have a happy and safe holiday season. We want to see you back here next year so you can enjoy more new music. So
that's right.
In the meantime, keep those horns held high, jumping at